Alright, we're good.
Be like,
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Welcome to another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. This is episode 302. Shout out to boys. We are your hosts, Will Compton, Taylor Lewan.
Hi.
If you are listening on Spotify, Apple, watching on YouTube or Rumble, make sure that you are subscribed. Support the boys, support the podcast by just hitting the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications if you'd like to, and don't forget to leave comments along the entire episode. We got a big one for you this week. We're going to be recapping the NFL. We're going to be recapping college ball. We have an awesome interview with Hardy. That is a banger. That will be toward the back half of the episode. But we got to start off this thing right. This is presented by our good friends at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done a tier talk of best pickup trucks, and that's because for Bussin' with the Boys, there's only one pickup truck near and dear to our heart, and that is the Chevy Silverado. Why is that, you might ask? The Silverado is a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of adventures and other shenanigans, and Silverado was a partner with us on the spring tour. They were on the fall tour. They will be the rest of the holiday season. The Silverado brings grit, legendary grit paired with modern truck tech inside and out, massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold blacked out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss. You know your boy rips around that ZR2 blacked out from head to toe. There's a reason Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality over the last 3 years, according to JD Power. So head over to Chevy.com to build your own Silverado or Silverado HD and check out all the current offers on the Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability, all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet, again, has received the highest total number of awards compared to all their brands in the JD Power 2022 to 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Studies. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Awards are based from 2022 to 2024 models.
Bit of a mouthful with that.
Bit of a mouthful.
I will say this. I want to double down a little bit on the subscribe. Just click the button. Couple of housekeeping items. All right. Today is Tuesday when you're watching this. Right now when we're filming this is Veterans Day. So let's give a round of applause for all the veterans out there.
Yes.
That serve and protect this country and make it what it is. Thank you so much. We will be recapping college football and NFL on the show tomorrow, which is today. We're going to say 10 a.m. Central Time? 10 a.m. Central Time. We're moving the goalpost.
Let's rip it. 10 a.m. Central Time.
We're going to do a Red Dead Redemption 2 stream. That is Tuesday, November
That is today.
12th. November 12th.
Today, November 12th.
Thursday,
November 12th.
November 14th, we'll have the locker room. And now the reason why I've said all these things is because Delaney Walker will not be there. He'll be in California doing whatever he's doing, what Delaney Walker does. And Will Compton will also not be there. So it'll be me and the boys in the back of the bus handling the locker room, facilitating you our picks and hoping to God you come with us. But the big reason why Will Compton is not going to be there. Baby number 2. Let's give a round of applause to Will Compton and his seed yet again becoming victorious. Congratulations, brother. How do we feel?
Girl dad for life, man.
For life.
As you are listening to this episode, we will be at the hospital. We have a scheduled C-section. We go in at like 8:30 in the morning. Should be coming up probably within a couple hours, I guess, with that. I don't have my hand on the pulse as much as I did with Rue.
Baby number 2. That's how
but
it
we
works.
will be in it, bro. We will be in it. Baby number 2 is coming. The family is growing. Family of 3, now family of 4, 5, counting a Waffle. Shout out to Pup Waffle at home right now, snuggled up on the couch.
We've all forgotten about Waffle, but thank God we're still talking about her.
Yeah. But yeah, man, girl dad through and through, bro.
You see me do that? You see me just smack my face with my own mic? Dude, if you had a crystal ball in your hand right now, what do you think you're going to realize? Like, what do you think is going to be like realizing you had more time with just Rue? Is it going to be that... How is it possible that I'm going to love a kid as much as I love Rue? Like, what do you think?
I think it's that one. I think it's like going into it, you know, my wife, Charles, and I, like, we sit down and we're sad that the chapter with Rue is over, where we give Rue all the attention and everything else. And it's kind of like, you kind of feel bad. She doesn't know what's coming. We've done our best to introduce her to this new baby. But I think that's what it is. It's like, you know, before we had Rue, and I was absolutely obsessed with Waffle, and I would tell Waffle in her sweet little ears that like, hey, you're going to be my number one forever. Don't even worry about this. Don't even trip over this next baby. Obviously, I forgot about Waffle. Kid's a little bit different. It's not like I'll forget about Rue. Rue will be my number one.
Could you imagine Waffle?
Yeah, I know. But I think that's what it is. It's like people without kids, you can't conceptualize like, you know, the love, how your heart expands and you're able to love something way more than you love yourself, way more than everything, right? They're your number one over, you know, I would say that Charles would say the same thing, like over your marriage, everything else, like your kid becomes your number one thing. Like the amount of love that we have for Rue, that you had for your kids when it was Win at first and then Willow comes. For me, it's like, I don't know how to get my arms that I know I'm going to love the second kid, but it's like, until it happens, I have no clue. Right. I think that's like what it is. Because we're bummed. We hit the coffee shop this morning. I'm like, hey, let's rip a selfie. It's going to be the last time we're a trio. And yeah, I think I'm most excited about, outside of having another daughter, is like seeing Rue become a big sister. I think we're really fired up. We've tried our best to integrate this new baby as much as possible with Rue, like talking to the belly. Rue shops for her, like when we go to the mall, Rue will pick something out for her. She helped put together the baby room for her, like all these things to like get ready for baby number 2 coming. We also shout out the boy Stephen Che. He gave me a little bit of advice last week that we acted on, but Char was with Rue at the mall and Rue wanted these like Elsa jewelry. And we bought a gift for Rue that Rue doesn't know about, but whenever we bring the baby home, we're going to tell Rue that it's from the baby. Like we're going to try to do all the things that just integrate Rue into this world.
And that was
like
Stephen Che's idea.
Yeah, Stephen Che, he's like, hey, here's the only piece of advice that we did with our second one from our first. Like when Rue comes into I saw this video on Instagram, shout out Instagram. We know how I love to consume content on Instagram, but I saw this video to where it's like when you introduce the first one to the baby of the second one, have somebody else like holding the baby when Rue comes in the hospital room. So that way mom doesn't have the baby. Rue can come in and say hi to mom, can come in and say hi to dad. We'll have our nanny there who will be holding the new baby. So that way you can introduce Rue to the baby. But so that way it's like Rue doesn't come into the world of mom's holding the baby. That was kind of the whole stipulation on it, is like mom's holding the new baby. So in their brain, like their world, I don't know. It's all fascinating stuff. But we're trying everything to make sure we introduce Rue the right way. And yeah, dude, I think we're just going to be in the trenches. You know, obviously sleep's going to be a big thing. You're going to have to feed this thing 7-8 times a day.
Yeah, they don't do a good job of fending for themselves in the beginning. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for them to go work through that process.
Yeah, try to figure out how we time up the nap times, how we spend time with Rue, how we spend time with the baby, how we try to get Rue involved as early as possible with it. I think that's all the things. Those are what all of the conversations have been around with this second baby coming.
I'll tell you this: Win, my oldest, is a fantastic big sister, and all the things you just said, we did none of them. So I think you're gonna be all right. And I do want to brag on Rue a little bit, because I've obviously known Rue since she's coming to this world, and the little girl she was like even 6 months ago, like a little more shy, a little more cautious. Seeing her at the game the other day playing with JP, and then finally when JP went to the bathroom so I could get a little bit of time, started playing with me.
Yeah, JP's like,
dude, JP is like all-time uncle right now with that damn kid. And but her confidence, she does a great job of saying what she wants, articulating what she wants, and not being nervous about like, hey, should I say this or say that? Like, she's very like clear in what she wants. She wants to have a good time, and she has that energy of like great big sister energy.
Yeah. She's
so it fires me up.
It's one of those things like everybody's like, hey, what advice do you have for a new kid? And people say like, oh, don't take advice, don't do this. Like, I don't know. It's like I'm one of those cats where I like to hear advice from everybody, like take in as much information as possible, and then grab parts where I'm like, hey, I kind of want to implement this in with this time around. So we'll see what happens. Dude.
I like the gift idea. I do.
I know.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Because I dropped that photo this morning of, hey, trio, we're about to be growing to 4, and somebody even in the comment section said that exact same idea. They're like, hey, you should buy a gift for Rue and say it's from the baby when the baby comes. But yeah, shout out Stephen Che. He kind of threw that one out there for me.
I don't want to turn this into like a baby podcast, but I am interested in the C-section thing, because so they basically like sedate Charo, obviously.
Yeah.
So she's kind of loopy. She's out of it.
Yeah.
How long, do you guys know how long it's going to be before they kind of get her juices back? Is it kind of like when you get the nitrous gas when you're at the dentist and they take it off, they put a little oxygen, you're good in 5 minutes? or does it take a little bit of a moment for Charles to get back to?
You're asking the wrong guy.
But
The experience we had last time. So the reason we went C-section route this time was, for people listening to that pod back then, like Charles had you kind of write out like, we were going into it. We had a doula. We're learning about, Charles being pregnant. You're learning about what's to come, what to be prepared for when you're in the room and everything else. Like we had a plan. Like she wanted as natural a birth as possible. But like all plans, they all go to shit.
Always.
And when that happened, Chara was in labor for close to 50 hours. Like she didn't want an epidural. She ended up getting 3 epidurals because 1 or 2 of them just didn't go right. Like one didn't work. So that was brutal. And she didn't come off like, I want to say like the 4 centimeter or 4 millimeter, whatever it is, 4 centimeter mark for hours. And to where she was just like, they were advising us and we were just like, let's just get a C-section after like 40 something hours of laboring. And so going into this one, I just think she didn't necessarily want to think about it. I think she's just like, let's just get one planned out. I've already done it once. She's already gone through that whole process. So let's just know what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah. One thing I remember when Charles had like a booklet of like her plan to have a baby and how it was all going to go. Mm-hmm. And Talon was similar in some ways in the with the first child, but really like everyone was telling her like, hey, once you have a plan, just know that plan will be fucked.
Yeah.
You have no shot.
Yeah.
And so when I think Talon and I went to Sedona when Charles was in labor and came back and she was still in labor.
I know, because you guys hooked me up with some food.
Yeah,
we were just in that room forever. It was just it was tough, man. It was tough on Charo.
Dude, I remember seeing Will going to drop off, I think it was sushi when we went to Sunday for you and picked up some sushi, and just seeing this man, it was like it wasn't even Will, it was just his body essentially moving around 40 hours.
Like we're still grinding,
and
bro.
also,
we're still in it, bro.
50 hours of being in labor. I'm sure you took a couple of naps. Had to have some guilt naps
One time, well, we had a doula, so it was like there would be times where I'm helping, I'm the one standing next to Charles and doing all that stuff, and then the doula would, and there was like, Charles was like, hey, go ahead and get you a nap. I was obviously like exhausted. She's exhausted too, but I'm like, hey, can I get some Z's right now? Can I do something?
It doesn't help if we're both hurting.
It was the first time where she was like, part of the plan when it was like, hey, let's just get an epidural. That'll probably help. Because again, she hadn't moved off like 4 centimeters for like 10 hours at this point. And we were in the tub. We were doing all the different stuff.
Bro.
And so
10 hours.
They came in to do the epidural. And then that's when I ended up falling asleep on the couch. Well, that epidural didn't work. And I wake up and she's just in it. And I'm, what's happening? What's this? What's that?
Disoriented.
Yeah, I was out for like 90 minutes. Where's the burger? I thought I got ordered a burger. But yeah.
Did you wake up to her like going through like she was making noise? The noise she was making woke you up.
There was some noise that I was sleeping through, some pain that I was sleeping through. I know, bro. I know.
You ate my burger?
I know. hey, where's my burger? Where's the burger?
Bro.
You took the burger? Charles screaming.
I remember Talon's first contraction with Wynn. We had no idea when this stuff was going to start. We were in Green Hills in the parking lot next to the place that is now Shake Shack. And Talon just like unbuckled her seatbelt immediately and started panicking and going around the car. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? She's like, I had never experienced that in my entire life. I was like, what was that? She goes, I think it was a contraction. I was like, oh, we are fucked. We don't stand a chance, dude. I just ordered.
You feel like you can hang on for a
But
little
bro,
bit?
women are crazy the way they can take that.
Yeah.
Because after that first contraction, when the next one came, she ate it and then continued to eat it. And my whole thing with the epidural is there's probably a whole bunch of science about how, the baby this, baby that. There are no medals when it comes to having a child.
Bro. Yeah,
There is no like, oh, you're a mom who did it with an epidural. You're a mom who did or did not. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Get the thing out healthy.
Yeah.
And just take the path of least resistance the whole way through.
Yeah. And hats off to the women who were able to, labor for only a few hours and it pops out.
Fucking breathe
it's
it
like
out.
you want.
Yeah, but hey.
You want, if you had the crystal ball, you want it to go a certain way. But if you can't, like, once you experience.
You know what I'm thinking? Yeah. That's a crazy thought, but you're talking about the women that can just pop it out, no problem. It's like,
what?
Might be tougher to get that nut later on.
I mean, I don't know.
What?
I don't know how cervixes work and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah.
But it's like, the minute you experience the war room, you realize like, hey, whatever path they want to take.
Whatever path.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's a different animal when you're in those walls. Bro.
Just think about like Ricky Bobby getting the brakes just getting slammed on. Like, I know that's obviously a movie, but think about people that actually deliver kids.
Yeah.
Like the dads are just like, oh, I'm going to
do
this right now.
Yeah.
I am not equipped. I can't handle that. I can't even change the oil in a car, let alone deliver a child.
Yeah.
That shit is,
keep the head up. I know,
bro. They just pop them things out. Back in the old days, they had litters like rabbits. They just fucking.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll have 10 of them. Hopefully 6 of them make it.
And then I'm watching, it's either House of Dragon or Game of Thrones, where they're sitting there laboring for days and days. And if it's not a boy, they're like pissed off. You don't know. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I was talking to
Shout out
somebody
women,
last
bro.
night about having boys, and I just thought, I don't know if I want one anymore. I don't know if I want to go down that road.
Yeah, are you guys gonna
I don't know. No, stop.
talk about your personal life right now?
I
Talk
know,
about
no. My personal life?
Yeah.
My personal life is
You're our only shot.
No. What do you mean?
Okay, you're right. But you know.
And also all of them.
Yeah. Who knows if any of the boys are getting busy? Yeah, if any of the boys are getting busy back there. But right now, as it stands with us two, like you're the only shot in the near future for a boy. Like now that we're at the end of this pregnancy, it's kind of like how I thought with the first one. Like before we even decided to have kids, we both were like, oh, I'd be sick to have 2, 3 would be awesome. And then you have the first one, and then you witness the labor, you experience the labor that Charles had. It's like, we might only have one. Who knows? It's going to be up to her, like, because they got to go through so much more than us. And then now that we're at the end of the second one, before we had the second one, it's like, oh, okay, maybe we go for 3, maybe not.
Yeah.
Now that we're at the end of the second one, I can't even fathom like a third one coming in the picture right now.
Right, because literally just a few months ago, you were talking about quickly getting back on the horse and getting a third one quickly.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of where I'm in a waiver point always.
Yeah.
Right now where I stand, 2. Now, we've noticed with the cat being in my life or Christmas lights in my house right now, I don't run my family.
Yeah.
I am not the pants wearer in my family. So I could be having 4. I have no clue what's going to happen in my life. That's the fun part about being married to Taylor. I don't get to decide.
Right. At least we know right now we're wearing our girl dad hats. We're wearing our girl dad hats, but we got some boy mom merch. Like again,
yeah.
You're the only shot in the near future.
Dude, I just don't know
for
if
the brand.
my piece can do it. I don't know if it can. I don't. Yeah.
Couple in the middle, let it drizzle. You heard Randall
I don't
Cobb.
have that capability, dude. My penis has never taken directions. It's been a straightforward type of deal the whole time.
Jab for a couple minutes.
When Cobb was talking about taking direction, I'm like, I thought there was just one lane.
Yeah.
A one straight lane. He's talking
Yeah.
about left and right. That's just crazy to me. Shout out Randall Cobb's piece, dude.
Yeah, shout out Randall
Good for
Cobb's
him.
piece. Having all them boys that he's had.
That
seem
is
like
just
they're going to be
crazy.
athletes too.
They are. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I would kind of, like, I thought I wouldn't, but I would be a psycho athlete dad, I think. I think I would fall into that trap a little bit. Not like Baby Gronk's dad, not like Ball's dad, but there would be a piece of me.
Like your old man.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably would be like Dave a little bit.
Yeah.
I would be like Dave a little bit. Not all the way. Dave.
You want him to be better than you.
Yep.
That's the expectation that gets placed
That's
on.
a tall order, boys. Listen, I don't want to. We're not pumping tires out here, but that's a tall fucking order, right? I mean, imagine you had a boy, 10 years in the NFL. I mean,
you want him to get the full 10, complete the legacy.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a Imagine if you had a boy at 9 and he was in year 9 in the NFL and he's like, "Damn, I'm thinking about hanging up."
Buddy. No.
A piece of you'd be like, we could be the same.
Yeah,
we could be the same.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, man. Yeah, we do got merch. Look at Will's hat.
Nice little plug. We got some teasers. As you guys see, Taylor and I were both wearing different variations of our girl dad hats. These will be dropping on Black Friday. If you're looking at this sweatshirt right
Phenomenal.
now, we got
turn around.
We got some sick merch coming.
All the way around. Ignore his cheeks. Do your best. Oh, fuck. Coffee's on the ground now. Watch your pants. But here, there it is, right there. You get it? Yeah. All right, get out of there, Will. We want to make sure you stay good. And for those of you who didn't get that shot, I'll have to hit you one more time because I could have easily just done this. I could have just done that the whole time.
But
yeah,
these shirts as well.
Well, it's going to do it again.
It's going to fall? Just get it closer. To you, or farther away from the thing. I don't even know what this says.
Dude, matter of fact, this simple little pocket tee on the front. When you turn it around to the back, thank you, Sherm. When you turn it around to the back, you got the Boys of the Fall, Bussin' with the Boys, the Locker Room, Tier 1, Bussin' with the Boys tag, and then quoted #1 sports podcast on a bus, and that is facts.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
For that
that
stat.
is a fact.
Round of applause for that stat.
But a lot of this merch will be dropping on Black Friday. It's going to be a massive year for the boys, as always.
Massive year. Every year we just try to outdo it, man. And we wouldn't be able to do it without you beautiful people watching and listening to the show every single week. You are the only reason why we're successful. Without you guys, we're just a couple of idiots. So we do appreciate. Let's hit an ad real quick.
We're a couple of idiots, regardless. But.
Hit me, yeah. Regardless,
yeah.
Let's hit an ad real quick. Let's talk about something that's also very special, near and dear to our hearts, and that is sport clips. This football season, don't walk around with helmet hair like a total rookie. You've been in the game long enough to know that how you wear your hair matters. Just because your team's mascot is a Wolverine, shout out the Michigan Wolverines, doesn't mean you have to look like one on up top. Keep your head in the game and go to Sport Clips. Their pro stylists have mastered the X's and O's in men's hair, so you can get a tight fade while kicking back and watching some fade routes on TV. It's called a Hail Mary, folks, not a Hair Mary. So don't just go anywhere. Head over to the pros in men's hair. They'll have a perfectly crafted game plan to make you look your best. No halftime adjustments needed. Remember, the difference between an okay haircut and a great haircut is called Sports Clips. It's a game changer.
Speaking of halftime adjustments, the Chiefs are inevitable. I fucking hate them.
The only way the Chiefs lose is if you become the biggest fan of the Chiefs.
I can't.
Why?
I just can't, bro. I can't. But hats off to them. Like, they have won every which way possible. They've won by comebacks. They know how to win in the fourth quarter. They know how to win with like 20 seconds left on the clock. They know how to win in overtime.
They know how to win when the ball's in the 25-yard line with an easy layup field goal.
And they blocked that motherfucker,
Blocked
bro.
it. Took the tight end, put him on his ass.
Dog.
And banked that thing. Bro.
They win every which way imaginable. And you know when you're on that sideline, like, the game's even close.
It doesn't matter.
In the fourth quarter. You're sitting there and you're like, something's going to shake for us. We're going to make a play somehow. Everybody on that team.
No fucking doubt about it, dude. It is just crazy. And to be the tight end, first off, we've said it on this podcast before, being a tight end on field goal is the worst position in football. You got three guys, no pause, no diddy, coming down your face. You do not stand a chance. And if you're the left tight end and you're on the right hash, just know you're about to have a stinger and you might break your leg, because it is the worst possible position in the world. And you have to get low. You have to throw that leg back. It's so difficult. And this poor bastard for the Denver Broncos gets mowed over like it's a five-star athlete playing against a 160-pound offensive lineman. It is just absolutely brutal.
I mean, shout out the Chiefs.
They just continue to do it.
Fucking come.
I know. They're 9-0.
I know.
Patrick Mahomes.
I remember I shot Big Cat a text when it was 14-3 because on Pro Football Show. By the way, I did take Broncos plus 7.5, so my bet hit no matter what. But my hot take was that the Broncos are going to shock the world and win by 10 plus. And at 14-3, it was looking nice. It was looking good.
Isn't it crazy
I remember shooting him in the eyes like, hey, Chiefs out here.
Whenever you shoot a text to your boys when things are going your way before the game's over, it always goes the other way.
I know. Even when I send it, I'm like, well, this is probably going to fucking turn around.
Yeah, 100%. It's just absolutely brutal. If you are looking for sports stuff, always we have the locker room that comes out Thursday at 6 a.m. Couple ones you took the Broncos. One I took, Patriots money line versus the Chicago Bears. Obviously, that one worked out really well for us. So all that stuff will be out there every single week during the football season.
Dude, if I would have just went even farther, I was thinking about this Commanders game. Did you watch Commanders Steelers?
Yeah, I watched.
So even when the Chiefs game ended, and that one was crazy. You flip it over to Steelers Commanders. That one was crazy as well. And on the locker room, I was like, I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. I might have said last drive, I don't know if I did, but I was like, this is a better coached football team than the Bears in the fourth quarter. And literally, same camera angle, same drive. Jaden Daniels around the 50, driving in. And the Steelers, bro, Russell Wilson, throwing that dime off of his back foot for that touchdown to go to go ahead. To Mike Williams.
Right, who just got there with a small package.
You know he is on cloud 9 leaving that abysmal dumpster fire of the New York Jets. I mean, that is what's going on. Like,
yeah.
I had Aaron Rodgers. I had to start him. Jordan Love was out with the bye week. Aaron Rodgers moves into my next slot. Next man up mentality.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers gives me 1 point. 1 point in fantasy.
God, that's
and that
heartbreaking.
team, like, I bought into the Jets. I love the comeback stories. I love when somebody's just doubted. And even though the way Aaron carries himself, you can see where people love him, you hate him, whatever. But I love just like buying into that fantasy. Like, what if he does just come in and change it around? Pops his Achilles last year. He comes back around this year. He's saying all the words. That's like, okay, you would love to see this future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Just come back and
yes. do it, bro. They drop some early. They get Devontae Adams in a trade. Like, they suck, man. Like, it's over. It's over.
It's over.
It's over for Aaron Rodgers.
Whoa.
Forever?
Maybe that's the gas he needs. Maybe that's the motivation he needs. But right now,
where I stand,
it seemed like it's over. It seems like it's just over.
You know, man, I hated hearing everything you just said.
I hated saying it because I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah. He is the man, dude. Let's get back to the Steelers real quick. Shout out Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
For taking Russell Wilson, who essentially seemed broken after he left the Seahawks, goes to the Broncos, telling everybody he's going to cook. He's got his danger witch. He's Mr. Unlimited. And then he absolutely shits the bed in Mile High City. Then gets sent over to the Steelers. He's in a quarterback battle. And now Arthur Smith has done an amazing job of resurrecting Russell Wilson's career. And I think that man should get another head coaching job.
And it just speaks with Tomlin too, like the plan too with Arthur and Tomlin and the whole Russell Wilson stuff. But when he came to the Steelers, obviously they also got Justin Fields. But part of that plan was like, hey, let's handle some of these distractions off the field. Let's lay low. Let's just focus on ball,
right?
Which he's done. And bro, he's playing well. Steelers are a weapon. They can be a problem. They get in the playoffs. They can make a run. They have an elite defense. Russell Wilson is going to continue to get better and better. Pickens, love watching him play. You see him on that interception?
Oh yes, with the
just jump and just grab dude's
slammed his ass. You got, dude, that shit is fucking hilarious.
JP tweeted about like just backyard football, dude. Just,
and that is what it is too. You got two guys start getting a little chippy with each other. That's always going to happen.
Yeah,
always. One thing that worries me about the Steelers is it Highsmith?
Yeah,
Highsmith, dude. Highsmith. Catching that ankle. Now, it didn't look like it broke or anything like that. He did seem like a real nasty twist. Hopefully that's the case. Because
but they did trade for Preston Smith. Like,
I know.
They've gotten.
I'm not sold on Preston Smith.
It's not like he has to be the guy. They got the guy in TJ Watt.
Yes, but you need a guy.
And even the backup for Highsmith when he came into play, I'm losing his name right now, but he played well in Highsmith's absence early in the year.
Having Highsmith on the other side of TJ Watt is such a critical thing for a defense like the Steelers, because with his level of play that he has on the left side of the line, you have to now focus on both of them. You can throw chips both times, but with him being out, you can now put more focus on TJ with more slides, more chips.
But you'll
more
never
all those
stop
things.
TJ Watt,
bro. I don't know if you can stop TJ Watt.
I don't think you'll ever stop that man.
Thank God for my career that I only played him his rookie year. That's all. I mean, that's all I have to say, because that dude is a fucking wrecking machine.
He is.
He is out of control the way he's able to play that consistently, that much power, that much speed. It's so impressive. It is so impressive. Because originally you thought when he got in the league, it was like, oh, JJ Watt's brother. He's going to have the pedigree. That's why he's going to get drafted higher.
Right.
When I played him, I was like, okay, obviously not as good as his brother. And now this kid is just doing things that, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. No,
Kid's going to be a Hall of Famer again. But with I keep messing up the name, Highsmith?
Yep.
With Highsmith being out, you're able to put more focus on TJ, which is a bit of a worry.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Preston's first game with him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he'll get rolling.
I feel like the Steelers, my friend Austin,
totally
he was on it early, but he's like, I think the Steelers have the most value for a futures bet on the Super Bowl, just because of how they're built.
Might have to just get in on that. We got to jump on the DraftKings Sportsbook and see like what that future is.
Let's see what that boy's looking like. Yeah, dude, the Steelers that's a fiery squad. No game was better than the Thursday night game, though.
I mean, this entire weekend. I mean, you're right, but this entire weekend was awesome,
yes. Bro. Dude, who is it? Houston and the Lions. Houston, Detroit was incredible.
Bro, Detroit, Jared Goff threw 5 fucking interceptions. And by the time I went to bed, they were only down 10. It was 2nd and 30. I jumped on DraftKings, took a money line. It was like plus 150 at the time. Just thinking to myself, okay, they just threw 5 picks. It's 2nd and 30. It seems like they're going to get the ball back with time. Like they might be able to pull this off.
Yes.
And wake up in the morning and they fucking win the game with 5 turnovers, bro.
Incredible.
5.
And the kicker who had the game-winning kick that literally went in by just a hair. by just a hair. They were giving his little backstory before he gave that game-winning kick. Kid was a soccer player and then became like a kickoff specialist and had a very unique way of getting to the league. And now he is sitting in an away game with the Lions and kicks that kick to win the game. That's the kind of story you want to fucking see, dude.
Bro, the Lions are a juggernaut.
The Lions are the team that can unseat the Chiefs.
And I know that the Texans kind of have their reasons why they're just a little bit above average right now. So coming into the season, you think like this is a team who's going to make a big run because of the year that they had last year. But against a team like the Texans, to turn the ball over 5 times and still win a game is crazy. It's crazy. They've just been handling business.
Well, you get,
Their coaching staff's insane.
Yeah, bro.
Coaching staff is insane. You get Taylor Decker out of the game. You obviously saw with Skipper in there at left tackle. There was a lot more penetration on Goff. Really messed him up.
Mm-hmm.
Goff had 2 interceptions all season until this game. It's crazy. And Houston didn't score another point in the second half, right? No, that is just crazy.
They start off that drive with a pick, and then another pick as they're going down the score in the red zone.
And you got to feel if you're that team, you're up. You score 23 points in the first half without your 2 receivers in there. You're only playing with Tank Dell, Joe Mixon. You're throwing it around there. Like, you got to feel so good about the second half of that game, dude.
And people thinking about the Steelers' future odds to win the Super Bowl right now, it's 22. That's 22-1. That's how you'd say that, right? Plus 2,200.
Yes, sir.
I might have to do that. Just throw a little bit on it. You never know.
Yeah,
you never know. There's a lot of great football teams. Now we're talking about field goal kickers. San Fran. Was it Moody?
Jake Moody.
He was having a tough. It was it Jake that was in there? Was he back?
Yeah.
3 minutes, but then
That's right.
He was having a tough day till he wasn't.
Tough day till he wasn't.
wasn't.
Oh, you talk about a tough day. Debo just grabbing the throat or mushing the long snapper?
Yeah, and dude, listen. Debo is like he's built like Michael Chandler. He's just a pit bull. Like you look at him like, oh, this dude's just built different than everybody else. Chokes out the long snapper, and the long snapper doesn't fucking back down. Gets in his face a little bit.
Chirping him. Yeah,
I like it. I like that kind of fire.
Over there. It was spicy.
Yeah,
that's one where you don't know if they just go down in the tank. Obviously, they come back and win the game, which is a positive thing. It's like, all right, just boys being boys, a little brotherhood over there. But I mean, that was just so disrespectful.
I
Debo.
didn't even see it.
I don't know. I would love to see it.
It was high.
It was your effing fault.
Yeah,
that's what Debo said.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, that is nuts. People aren't going to talk about like that was a great game, and obviously the 49ers win. People are not talking about enough. Baker Mayfield stiff arming Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Stick on a TE, gets it, holds his ass off, and Nick Bosa built like G.I. Joe, dude. Built like a fucking action figure,
bro.
and then gets that thing out, no problem. Just absolutely nuts.
Coming off the election. Now, if you took the prop on Bosa to have a sack, you did get that. But yeah, you stiff on Bosa coming off the election, like that's a highlight.
Yeah.
And Baker's been balling. It kind of it sucks that the Bucs are in the spot that they're in without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin because he's been playing his balls off, man.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite stories is Baker Mayfield, dude. Being like having the career he's had, being the first overall pick, all that stuff, and then still doing it.
Yeah.
Still doing it and resurrecting his career. I feel like that's my key word of this podcast is resurrection. You brought up taking Lions money line. I did the same thing in our group chat when I heard whispers about Georgia being down against Ole Miss. So I went and took Georgia. You know what?
I did the same thing. I lost that
just
one.
Fucking heartbreaking, dude. You look at it, you're like, yeah, they are going to come back and win it. And you go and like, I didn't watch that game, but I checked back in. It obviously didn't go the way
mine was pure emotion. I was angry when I went in to be like, all right, they're going to come back and fucking win this thing.
What were you mad about?
Iowa State, their defense let me down against Kansas. And I was watching that game too. And they were almost like coming back. Like they were making it spicy there in the end. But that quarterback for Kansas was just playing his balls off, man. But the Iowa State defense was letting me down. I check in on the Georgia Ole Miss game, and it's like that was an angry. They're going to get back here. Money line live bet with Georgia.
Your emotions affected my bank account.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah,
we'll be all right. We're going to be all right through that.
Carson Beck, man.
Carson,
I know, bro.
Playing like he looks.
I'll tell you what. I know we're talking about college. Before we jump into the college, you were talking about the best game of the week being the Bengals and Ravens. That was incredible to watch.
Dude.
Amazing.
And JP, we do have our fantasy league going on right now. Congrats to you having Jamar Chase. He put up like 55 points in fantasy.
Shout out
that
JP.
Dude was going nuts, bro.
Yeah, man, that's pretty wild. It's just the Ravens going down the field and scoring, and then 2 plays later, Joe Burrow just to Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
just fucking crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
Another one you feel bad for Joe Burrow, like he's been playing at an MVP level, and the Bengals just can't can't get those
Can't
wins late.
protect him, dude. The
Can't get
amount of
those wins
hits
late in
this
the
kid
game.
is taking is just crazy. People, I don't know who was saying it, but someone was talking about Joe Burrow might want to get traded because he's just not being protected. It's just,
yeah, I mean,
dude. That, I mean,
no, the Bengals ain't getting rid of Joe Burrow.
no shot. Literally, you have to put a gun to the GM's head.
You talking about quarterbacks taking a hit? Did you see fucking Kyler Murray?
No, I did not see that.
bro.
Pull that clip up for me. Let me take a peek at that, dude.
Quincy Williams, right? 56 for the Jets. Comes off the edge. I'm talking, this is like old school throwback. Comes off the edge of the left side. Kyler Murray doesn't see him, and his helmet goes like fucking 20 yards. Check this out. Watch this. Get the internet going here. Here we go. Check this out.
Oh. Just
Go back.
a
Hey,
free
don't-
runner.
2 plays later, throws a TD to Mark.
No way. 2 plays later, throws a TD.
Beautiful ball.
I mean, gets murdered.
That is nuts.
Arizona's been playing good, man.
Yeah.
Cooper Comstock, our graphic designer, he's big into Call of Duty as well. He says who is also an Arizona Cardinals fan. He's saying that Kyler Murray is 3-0 since Call of Duty dropped.
Dude. That's the
since Call of
kind
Duty
of
dropped.
stats you're looking for when you come to Bussin with the boys.
yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
man. Maybe that was
But
the
he's
answer
been
the
playing-
entire
He's
time.
been playing good, bro. Cardinals are sneaky tough. It's one where they win it. I know for me, I guess this is my brain, but they win a game and I'm thinking they're streaky. They're going to fall off at some point. They're streaky. They're going to fall off at some point. Bro, they've been handling business week in and week out.
Yes, dude. I'm excited to see the Cardinals. And shout out Arizona, dude. The fair weather fans are starting to get juiced up a little bit out there in Arizona, down in that southwest. Are you jumping on?
I might jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I mean, I might jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah?
Yeah. They got, I was going to say they had their game this week, but they have a bye this week.
Yeah. I mean,
Right
that
now-
Seattle.
Right now in the NFL, who would you say is leading the MVP race?
I mean, you got to kind of say Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Lamar, obviously.
Well, we
he'll
got
be up there.
Kansas City Buffalo coming up, yeah? This weekend. That's going to be a hell of a game. Somehow. I bet actually the Bills win that game. Because Bills usually win the regular season, and then they meet again in the playoffs. Yeah, and the Chiefs win the playoffs. Dude, yeah, Lamar.
Yeah, you got Lamar leading it plus 100.
Like he had
Josh Allen
23
plus
touchdowns
250.
last year, and he won the MVP. He's got 23 right now.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
It's crazy to me that Mahomes is number 3. I do get it, though. They're undefeated. Just because his
Yeah.
stat line is
His
nowhere
stat line,
close
yeah.
to these other cats, bro.
Is Derek up there?
No,
No.
he's not up there. You got Mahomes plus 750, Jalen Hurts plus 1,200, Kyler Murray plus 1,500, Joe Burrow 20-1, Jaden Daniels 20-1. Goff, I'm sure he's going to drop a little bit since he just threw 5 picks.
Yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry's plus 5,000.
1,000%. This last part of the year is going to obviously decide all of it.
They need to stay healthy.
Yeah, they do. What Brian Kelly say? October's for pretenders, November's for contenders.
Brian Kelly can suck this dick.
Bro, that's Garrett Hargis, Alabama fan. Legit, I don't think there's a more of a unique like oil and water mix than Brian Kelly and LSU.
Yeah.
Culturally.
We can
It just-
we can transition to college football because I
We
see
should
that we
talk- we
haven't
should- we
talked
should
about
the
the
Cowboys.
Bears. The Bears
Dead.
done.
Done.
And I hate it for Big Cat.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams sacked 9 times. I want to say Adam Schefter sent him into the gulag by ratioing him last week. I guess him and Justin Fields have very similar stats in their first amount of starts for the Bears. But the Bears they're done. They're dead. Cowboys, are they tanking? They're in they have a shit show. Hey, and help me out. Like, I haven't followed the Cowboys that closely all year. Why isn't Trey Lance the backup QB? Like, why is it Cooper Rush over Trey Lance?
He played yesterday.
I saw him go in because Cooper
Yeah.
just wasn't playing well. But when I saw him playing, I'm thinking to myself, why wasn't he the guy, the backup to begin with?
I don't know like the correct answer on it. My only guess would be Rush has been with the Cowboys for like 4 or 5 years now, whereas Lance just got there. So maybe
He's been there.
Yeah,
he's
but
been
that-
there
listen,
longer.
that doesn't
last year,
first round
when
pick.
Cooper Rush played last year, I think he went like 4-0 in the games he started. So
That's
enough.
fair.
maybe just a
That's a better
confidence.
stat. That's a
Yeah.
better stat. Just because you're there longer doesn't mean you're going to play. I mean,
Yeah,
but if
for
if
sure.
you start 4-0, that's good. If you're Dak Prescott too, you sign that deal, you get the hamstring, and he elects to get the hamstring surgery. Smart move. It's
Get
a
out of
smart
there.
move.
Get out.
Get out.
Lick
let the
your
rebuild-
wounds. Enjoy the
Yeah,
holidays.
let's get the new
fuck out of
coaching
there.
staff in after the season's over.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what's going on all around.
You saw CD Lamb. He dropped a touchdown pass due to direct sunlight. And that's been a common theme. I will say I have had experience. Jason Witten caught one on your boy. I'll just go ahead and say he probably would have caught it anyway.
Don't do that. No, don't say that.
I know, but everybody's going to be like, oh, with the excuses, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that sunlight is fucking crazy. I had him. I was like, I think we were in cover 4 and I was a 3 player, so I was off Jason Witten. But I remember just erring on the side of being like high because you can't see when you look back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he threw it and caught it, I'm almost just seeing his silhouette because you can't see anything on the offensive side. That sunlight, I swear to God, it is brutal. Bro.
Yeah.
Jason saw it.
Yeah, great catch by Jason.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Jason Witten, his 1,000th catch was on your boy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Shout out Jason Witten.
Yeah.
Shout out Jason Witten.
We need that ball.
At Washington, and I knew when he caught it and everything. I was like, oh, that's his 1,000th catch. Like that's history.
Was it the first catch of the day? He just needed one more or what?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I let him have it. I let him have it. Knew he's getting long in the tooth. Yeah. History.
Had to make sure he got that ball. Had to make sure he caught it. Dude, yeah. And Sherm, you were saying that CeeDee Lamb went to Jerry Jones and was like, hey, you got to put some curtains or something on there?
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones said no?
Yeah.
Well, there you
Jerry
go.
Jones said, where, you know where the sun is, where's the moon? He said some shit like that.
And then CeeDee Lamb drops a wide open touchdown pass in the end zone, and sun's directly in his eyes, and he even turned to his teammates and was like, I didn't see a thing.
I swear that is real. You can't see shit.
We have had a lot of contender
if it's
talk.
in the right spot. Yeah.
We've had a lot of contender talk on this podcast. What about the Eagles? How do you feel about them?
I think the Eagles have an extremely talented team. They're going to go to the playoffs, but they're going to lose in the playoffs because of situational ball, and I think they'll just get outcoached.
It's all going to be Sirianni's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch, out on Sirianni.
I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people know that it's going to happen.
Are out on Sirianni, and like that's the biggest question mark around them is their team's really good, stacked,
and they're going to be happy every week when they win. But the moment they lose,
they're going to get outcoached.
Yeah,
got to be the hardest place to play in the NFL
for sure.
Yeah, Philly's just psychotic with their football.
Bring up that game time, Sherm. As we transition into college football. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time, and now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Pick filters out the fluff to show you only incredible seats on our incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Your boy, I was looking at a lot of the group chats going out to the USC Nebraska game, saw an amazing deal on Game Time Picks, sent the boys a link, sent the boys a deal for great seats. Just pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Huskers at USC tickets now with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app today. Use code Bussin to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it?
Game time!
Hey, brother. Let's just start. Let's just start with us.
Yeah.
Let's just start with us. We're
both
just
going down to that 7th line right there. Sherman, who does a pre-production meeting every single day, he put a little note, says, are Michigan and Nebraska bowling this year?
I'd like to think we are.
100%.
I think the PTSD that's coming on top of me right now, which it was last week, is the fact that we got to 5 games. We were 5-3 last year, and then we lost out on games that were very winnable.
And you have a tough schedule at the end.
It's not. It's tough. It's definitely tough when all of this is happening. But we're in the same situation where these are winnable games to where we could go bowling. I just have no fucking clue. I want the best. Everybody knows I want the best for Nebraska. Trust me. I'm taking this. I think we're 8.5-point underdogs against USC. To me, that's a steal. We're going to get that. I just don't know if we get the money line part. You know what I mean? I don't know if we get the W part.
Bro,
that motherfucker who put the graphic of us losing the bye week, that was psychotic.
That was crazy.
Genius, but
I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got USC, we got Wisconsin, we got Iowa.
Yeah. We got Northwestern and Ohio State.
I believe too. For the people, for the cloud that is over us, you can obviously see how we drop these motherfuckers. However, we've made some adjustments during the bye week. We've done a lot of self-scouting. We brought in that offensive genius guru. They're calling him the offensive Yoda, coming from the University of Houston. He's coming in and kind of giving his objective opinion, seeing it from afar. We've made some changes. You just need the boys to show up this week, locked in, ready to fucking go. We got to beat USC. We got to beat the Trojans.
Got to beat USC.
Got to beat the
And
Trojans.
if not
bro.
USC, it's got to be Wisconsin.
It's got to be
and
Wisconsin.
if it's not Wisconsin, let's
It's
do it.
the
in
battle
Iowa.
for the border. The
Yeah.
battle for the border.
You got 3 shots
Is there
to be great.
Is there
Yeah.
a world where we see a Bussin Bowl postseason matchup?
I don't think they'll put 2 Big Ten teams in a bowl game.
No.
It would be elite though.
That would be sick.
Music City Bowl.
You sang that, the twinkle started to come to my eye, like, oh yeah, and then Tayl's like, yeah, 2 Big Ten teams. It's like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, probably not. But we would love to see it.
Y'all have influence. This is
If
where
we
the
had
committee sees
if we
this.
had a set bowl and we got to pick our teams, of course.
Yeah. If
College
both,
football playoff, get us on the committee. Let us just decide our bowl game.
if both teams end up 6-6, it's like, yeah, just give us what we want.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
give
Out
just
here
2
in
guys in a
Nashville,
bus.
out here in
We gotta
Nashville.
have it here in Nashville.
Have the bus on the sideline.
Yeah. Look, listen, we it's time for a come to Jesus with Michigan. Like, you could look at that last game of the year and you could probably expect us to lose that one.
Yeah.
It just was very proud of the way the boys fought against Indiana. Proud.
You guys
Proud
did,
of the way they fought.
You guys did put up a fight. What
Put
was
up a
it?
fight.
What was it? 17-3 at half?
Yeah, 17-3 at half, came back in a big way. And dude, we had every opportunity in the world to win that game.
I know,
And-
man.
But it really just turned into we could not push the ball down the field vertically. It's infuriating. Literally so infuriating. That night I got in Bryce Underwood's DMs and I said, what do I got to do to get you to Michigan? Sincerely, Taylor Lewan.
I'll tell you what.
I need that boy to
You're talking
come
about Dave
to
Portnoy
Michigan.
saying he's on it, he's working. Like, I know that's a guy he's identified, and now
Yeah.
you learn that that Stallions is his one-on-one coach right now.
Who's one-on-one coach?
Connor Stallions is like mentoring. He's joined his high school team, and he is like his coach. He's his quarterback coach.
Good.
These motherfuckers.
This is good.
Connor Stallions.
That's exactly what we need right now. I literally caught myself watching a high school player's highlight tape this weekend. Kid can ball.
Kid can ball.
Kid can ball. Strong, athletic, dual threat.
Stallions.
Sling
bro.
it down the field, accuracy. He's got it all. He's got it all. And
We
I'm pretty
gotta
sure
take
I'm pretty sure the
Stallions out.
kid's from Michigan, right?
Detroit.
He's from Detroit. Like, bro, come home. Come home. Now he's been committed to LSU since like January 7th. We can flip that, dude. If
I mean, the way LSU's been losing these games, it's definitely possible.
right.
BK ain't it.
I'm just saying, we get him. We can do this. Now, our biggest hope for a bowl game is Northwestern.
Hey, Northwestern can get frisky every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then.
Click on them. Click on them. I want to see their schedule.
Click.
Don't catch Northwestern on international soil. Where's that
International
game at?
waters. Northwestern gets after it. I mean, bro.
They beat Maryland 37-10.
Yeah, Wisconsin beat them 23-3. Iowa beat them 40-14.
Eastern Illinois, they put them in a body bag. They put them in a coffin 31-7.
All right, bro, get out of there. Listen,
This is going to be
That's the
probably
hope.
Michigan's going to be favored by like 3.5 in this game.
and you know what? All I need is a win by one.
Just need a win.
I just need
All
to
you
win
need is
by
a win.
one.
Just win by one.
I
Go bowling.
I'm not 100%, but I'm 95% sure I'm taking my oldest win. I'm taking a win to that game. I was gonna take her to Oregon, but I was like, she's starting to understand. She's starting to understand football. She sees when Michigan's on the TV. She says "Go Blue," and I was like, I can't let her
You need her to
first
experience a
football
win.
experience. Yeah.
Need her to get a win.
When Dan Lanning sent me cry laughy faces, I knew I was in a blender right then and there. We knew we were in big trouble.
Dude, I tell you what, I think Oregon and Indiana are going to be playing in the Big Ten title game.
But we need. Hey, here's a nasty thought.
Let's say they beat Ohio State. They're going to go to the Big Ten title game, play Oregon. Somebody's obviously going to lose, but I think you're going to see Oregon, Indiana, and probably Penn State get in the playoff.
You don't think Ohio?
I don't think they will with 2 losses. I know they beat Penn
Possibly
State,
3.
but Penn State,
Possibly 3 too, Mitch.
right? But if Penn State wins out, they're only going to be a 1-loss team, and that loss is going to be to Ohio State, which came down in the fourth quarter. But I think if Ohio State loses to Indiana, Ohio State's going to be a 2-loss team on the outside looking in, and I think Penn State gets in over Ohio State.
That's fair.
I do have the ultimate spin zone for Taylor if Northwestern beats Michigan. Michigan has the opportunity to both become bowl eligible and ruin Ohio State's season with that last game of the year.
That would be
that's
iconic.
beautiful.
That'd be unbelievable.
That's beautiful.
But let's just beat Northwestern.
Let's beat Northwestern. But
Yeah.
we still have that.
Right, because if they beat Northwestern and Ohio State still beats Indiana, they could still do this. They'll be in the same exact spot.
Yeah. I hate saying this, and I am I am fighting against myself a little bit. But did Indiana play Michigan? Was that a trap game for Indiana because they're playing Ohio State this week?
Possibly, right
Bro,
there.
as we were talking, I'm like, oh my God, is that where we've gotten to? Is that where we've gotten to?
Just this year. You guys are coming off a natty. You still got the ring.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys are going all in on this quarterback that's committed to LSU. You guys
Literally, it's a $10 million deal.
You guys are going to be pumping money. I was finding myself on the On3 site and kind of looking at NIL like per player in a recruiting class. Like you guys are top 10, so you guys are starting to spend money.
Yeah,
you guys are spending like 90,000 per. I want to say Ohio State's at like 93 or 94. Just FYI.
Yeah, we gotta get them, man.
You guys will be back.
We gotta get them. We'll be back. We'll be back. Tough year.
The SEC is what's going to be fun. Watch unfold.
Yeah.
JP, I've tried doing a lot of mental gymnastics on seeing how South Carolina. I just don't think it happens.
It's all right though. It's okay.
I'll tell you who's been flying under the radar is old Tennessee, it feels like. With all these teams that get talked about in the SEC,
huge week
but
with
Tennessee
Georgia.
is a one-loss team. They
Yeah.
got Georgia. You guys can just knock Georgia all the way out of it this week.
Or it's going to become the most just up in the air. There's not going to be 5 SEC teams in the playoff. We know that. It'll be Texas, Alabama. Well, I don't know.
Texas kind of has a
Ole
tougher
Miss.
schedule of all the teams that are, a loss, 2-loss team.
I don't know. I feel like Texas has kind of had like a pretty easy walk. Like their schedule is really not that hard. They played like 2.
Yeah, because at the time we thought Michigan was going to be a big one.
True. Their biggest, yeah.
They have A&M last game of the year.
Yeah.
Who do they have?
They already played Oklahoma, who ended up being.
They have Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M.
I mean, they handle Florida
Arkansas
well.
and Kentucky are known to get a little crazy. They're known to be a wild card.
Are any of those on the road?
Arkansas and A&M.
is and A&M, yeah.
And Arkansas is a huge rivalry game that hasn't been played in years, except for same with A&M.
And A&M, that's going to have
Arkansas is
implications for
sneaky,
them.
dude.
It's not
They
like
just
they're
have
going
weird
into it
games
out
where
of
they
it.
just blow up.
Kentucky beat Ole Miss this year.
So Texas obviously handled Florida, which isn't saying much, but I just saw the stat. The entire state of Florida between college and NFL this week went 0-11. And I know it's Tuesday, but Monday night, Miami Dolphins have a redemption shot to not go completely like winless.
Oh my
So
God.
0-11.
See, I thought, I know
potential
it's not like a
0-12.
massive win, like dummy in Florida like that, but Florida was playing okay.
Yeah.
They lost that quarterback the week before.
Like that was when I stayed away from gambling wise, just because you just don't know with Texas. But they handled their ass, bro.
So I have a question. If Georgia beats Tennessee this week,
Bring up the standings for the SEC, Sherm, while you ask this.
who's going to the SEC championship? Say we go, Alabama goes,
You guys do have
and we
shot, which is
lose.
crazy.
Do we miss on the playoff by having a third loss, but going to the SEC championship? Like you almost don't want to go, which sounds
happened
so
So
before.
fucked
if Tennessee wins, I think if Tennessee
know, dude,
wins
it's crazy.
and you got, well, you would need Texas to lose too.
What do you mean? Texas is going.
But if Texas loses to A&M, right, would they still get in
Yeah, I
over
mean,
Bama?
multiple things could happen.
Because
Who,
A&M right now 7-2. Say they win out, right? They'll be a 2-loss team.
Right.
Alabama wins out. That's a 2-loss team. Texas is a 2-loss team. Obviously, the
Yeah, we
A&M's
almost
got the
don't want to
head-to-head
go
over them.
to the SEC championship.
Yeah, because if you say you guys went to the SEC championship, it's you guys versus Tennessee, and you
Crazy.
lost to Tennessee, you'd be out of it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
These
I don't
two
know.
play each other, so there's only potential for 2 one-loss teams.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
crazy.
end of the season. But Texas could drop another.
Because we're in this hypothetical, we're saying Tennessee beats Georgia. Georgia will be out of it. I think Ole Miss, they have an easy schedule their last few, yeah? I think when I was looking, they have an easier schedule. Ole Miss has, yeah, Florida and Mississippi State. So they take care of those. Like, they'll be up there. Go back to the standings. You'll have Tennessee. It comes down to A&M and Texas. Let's just say Texas wins since they're a one-loss team. But you'll have Tennessee and Texas in the championship. Both of them will go to the playoff. Ole Miss will be a 2-loss team on the outside looking in. So will Bama. Both of you guys could go to the playoff. And Mizzou does not have a tough end of the year. Mizzou's a 2-loss team right now, and they have
us this week.
okay. That makes
South
me feel
Carolina.
better.
Handling
You got
business
South
there.
Carolina, you got Mississippi State, and then you got Arkansas. But say they were to beat you guys, you'd have another 2-loss team with Bama. You would have a lot of chaos going in that college football playoff.
Where's it only a 2-loss team in the SEC?
It's hard to think about LSU
Are they?
handling business. Yeah, they're 3-2. They're 3-2 in division.
No, they're 6-3. They just lost. Yeah, they lost. Yeah, because they lost.
You guys must have not
So
watched
they're
on
out.
Saturday.
Yeah. That was an elimination game. They're out.
See ya.
But you'd have Mizzou, Ole Miss, Alabama.
A&M, Tennessee.
Well, if
Texas.
A&M loses to Texas, they'll be a 3-loss. They'll be out. But those 3 out: Alabama, Ole Miss, Mizzou, 2-loss teams. Tennessee and Texas, they'll be in. You'll be scrapping for. I mean, is there a world where 5 teams go from the SEC?
It's possible.
Missouri's not going over.
LSU has 3 losses.
I have Alabama beat them, Texas A&M beat them.
They lost to USC, right?
Yeah, and they lost to USC.
Yeah, but that's on SEC.
But they have 3 losses.
But that doesn't.
Done.
3 losses.
Oh, we're talking about
College football playoff.
Playoff,
I was
yeah.
talking about SEC.
Oh, no.
Like 2-loss.
No.
Because he could get to.
I mean, it could, but they need a lot. They're like one of those teams that need a lot of things to happen for them to like sneak in that scenario.
Yeah.
You gonna pull up the bracket?
Game of the week
one?
this week in locker room's got to be Tennessee, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it has
Is
to
Nico gonna play?
Yeah.
Yo, I flipped on the Boise State game for literally 3 minutes, and right when I turned it on, like Ashton Genty popped one all the way to like the goal line.
Kid's incredible.
He's awesome.
And they were sitting at 12. I don't know where they're at now, but I would love to see
He's
Boise
gotta be
State
in.
make it.
They gotta be in.
They got to be in, right? What's the rest of their schedule? Do they play anybody?
I mean, I don't know, but you want that dude in the play. Like,
Yeah, and I want him to get the single season record too.
Hey, and shout
I
out.
want him to get it bad.
You're talking about Veterans Day. Like, shout out the dog Nate as well. His military
Nate
parlay
Dogg. Round of
hit.
applause for Nate Dogg, dude.
Yeah, his parlay hit, which I did get in on. So
Nice.
shout out the boy. Shout out the boy Nate.
Call of Fame, dude. Call of Fame. And a great presentation too.
Yeah.
A great presentation. The theatrics, the outfit, everything was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, okay, let's see.
What's
Boise State still stays at 12, huh? Or is this last week's? Yeah, it's not updated because Miami's still in there. What happens to Miami now? Are they still going to make it?
they can still go to the ACC championship and win.
Yeah, but are they going to?
They play SMU though.
Yeah.
They could beat them.
And BYU's in the ACC, right?
BYU's in the Big 12.
Big 12.
Oh, Big 12. Sorry, I get some of them. Some
That's
of them
way
teams
on the other
confused.
side.
I mean, Colorado getting a little frisky.
I know.
Colorado's getting frisky, bro.
Trash being thrown at them.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that, boys? Tortillas, eggs.
I mean,
things-
that's
people-
OD. That's too much.
Tortillas is fine. I think it's kind of funny.
I will say this though. I love the entertainment factor.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I like the entertainment factor of, not condoning people throwing a lot of trash on the field. However,
But there's something about the
If it's
WWE aspect
Yeah,
of college
yeah.
football where you're like, I kind of like it.
yeah,
I kind of mess
yeah.
with it. Leave it out of the NFL.
The head
That's
coach,
proper business stuff
the
in the
head
NFL.
coach had to get on the mic during the Colorado game and tell the fans to stop throwing trash on.
I like it. I like
kinda
it.
like
That
the
fires
chaos,
me
too.
up, dude. And what was it? Shiloh? Is that his name?
Shador.
No.
Oh, Shiloh.
Shiloh Sanders. He was like egging him on too.
Yeah.
As he like threw more stuff. He threw his stuff back. He's like, "Give it to me
Yeah,
again."
yeah.
Like that's the kind of shit.
Embrace it.
Travis put it.
Yeah, take the tortilla, put it in his pants. Little snack for later.
That's dangerous.
Tortilla in the britches.
Oh, yeah, because the fans keep the tortillas.
The Texas Tech fans keep the tortillas hidden in their britches to get them into the stadium. So
So that's how you transfer things.
that's how you transfer things.
stuff
So
out
just
there.
players, don't be doing that.
Yeah.
I would caution you to
Get
do
you that itch. You don't want that itch.
The Raider rash is what they call it.
Oh,
That's
don't
a thing.
want the Raider rash.
That's a thing.
It's like if you're the home team seeing the trash getting thrown on the field, you're kind of like, guys, hey, cut this shit off. But if you're the away team getting the trash, you kind of like want that shit. You want to get everything even more.
I kind of I mess
like
with
bring the noise, bring the
it.
hate.
Yeah, I wish there was a way for it to be like I don't know a classier way to do it. But I do like the people
Like-
things getting thrown at the players.
Have a section where they can
Like during
hang or
timeouts.
something.
Yeah, like a bucket,
During
like a bucket or
timeouts,
something
you
where they
guys
can
can
just
throw
throw
shit.
stuff at.
Food, not bottles. Like a hot dog. Just
Yeah,
What
Glizzy.
was the NFL game where a dildo, like Buffalo Bills game, a dildo just like landed on like the 4-yard line? That's the kind of stuff I want to see.
The dildo. Yeah, throw the big dildo.
Yeah. Hey, also Notre Dame's just in here now.
This is the updated CFP projected.
It's SMU, bro. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
SMU. Talk about money. They got money. Dallas has got money.
SMU, Boise
NIL
State, two
going.
teams I want to see make it.
Yeah.
I want that.
I'd be pumped if Indiana's going.
Yeah, same. We need Indiana to win that game. We need Indiana to beat Ohio State. What happened?
Oh, I guess we will be once that season comes around. The old SEC versus Big Ten.
I mean, they had us going to Texas last round.
You ain't even going to be in it, JP. Shut up.
It's crazy how he'll flip on a dime, JP. He'll flip on a dime.
I know.
Hopefully y'all make a bowl, man.
I know, bro. Fuck. I know.
That would hurt extra too because I know I'm in the same position.
Yeah. Just as I said it, I already knew like I have nothing to stand on.
Hey, y'all gotta get bowling so y'all can play each other.
Yeah. They're going to have to
that
win
could happen.
out. We both need to win out.
I'm pumped that you guys are. I'm pumped that you guys beat Vanderbilt. I'm pumped that you guys have momentum.
Whoop
Love
Vanderbilt.
Coach Beamer. Yeah, whooped him.
Whooped him.
And what we say, that D-line, they were not going to be able to slow down that D-line getting after him.
Come on, man.
I believe it was
slow
Delaney
game.
Walker who said that Vanderbilt was going to win that game. On the
Delaney
locker
said
room.
Vanderbilt. He also said Miami.
Dude.
Delaney sucks, but everybody knows he sucks with college.
Was the Miami Georgia Tech game the game that running back had his helmet partially off and then got fucking smoked?
Smoked
Dude,
him.
adjusting it and then gets hit.
And then
That
all
is
the Miami
crazy.
players, they're all like dapping it up with the dude after he gets ejected, and he's like hype as well.
And they fucking
Caught
lost,
that L.
man. That is just
Kyle
brutal.
Kennard on South Carolina is actually the guy that recovered the fumble last year for Georgia Tech when Miami just handed them the game at the end of it.
Kyle Kennard. Yeah, dude, college football is really shaping up to be. This is the best year to have a 12-team playoff.
Yeah,
it's
the
literally
system is
perfect.
working.
Because last year there was a lot of people were in uproar about it because that's 5, 6, 7 teams. People were like, all these teams could be in the playoff.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's just exciting. Here's a thought: Do we start getting into a situation where your championship, like the SEC championship, the Big Ten championship, if both teams know they're going to be in, do they sit guys? Do we start getting into that world at all where championships like SEC championships don't matter as much anymore? Big Ten championships.
I don't think, because if you win, you're going to get most likely you're going to get a bye.
Yeah.
And after the
that's
bye,
a good point.
you don't want to be in like the situation we're in where.
And answer me this too: like if the teams who get a bye, are they hosting a college football playoff game, or is that only the first round only where you're hosting? Okay,
first round, yeah.
But yeah, there's obviously always something to play for with the championship game to where you're going to get a bye.
Yeah,
more than likely going to get by. There are 5 teams that come out of it. They got to get seeded, but you do host a home game.
Yeah, but you get a guy if you have a guy that's like a little bit injured, he's nursing injury, maybe he's got an ankle or something like that. I think you're more inclined to tell the player, "Hey, go and sit this one out. We're going to make the playoffs anyway. Let's get you healthy and ready for a couple of weeks from now."
Yeah,
because when's the first round of the playoffs start? So it's earlier, right?
Yeah. Home playoff games in college is
nuts,
wild,
the best. That is the fucking best.
And you would be situated of being like a 6 seed hosting a home game. So I could see where, there could be a unique situation where somebody has something that's like, hey, let's just not risk it. Because if we win, we obviously get a bye. But if we happen to lose, we'll still be hosting a home playoff game.
Yeah, like let's say Oregon wins out. Oregon goes to the Big Ten championship. They're one. Is there any thought process to Oregon where it's like, well, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be, if we lose, we'll be worst case scenario 4. We're going to get a bye no matter what.
Worst case scenario, they would be 6. Or best case scenario, if they lose, they're 6.
No, I'm saying, does that thought process go into Dan Lanning's head at all? If
Probably
you're playing
not,
in Indiana,
you're trying to win, so you
they
want
got
to buy.
something to prove.
Yeah,
are you not entertained?
You want a buy game because, again, 1 through 4 is only for teams that win their championship game.
Oh, I did not know.
And
that.
5 goes to the highest ranked conference winner. So if you lose, like the best you can do, if like you're Oregon and you're undefeated, and say you drop that Big Ten championship, your best case scenario is 6. Your worst case scenario is probably like 7 or 8.
So there's no room for that at all to say guys and all that.
5 is highest ranked non-conference winner, which I think is what you meant to say. But
highest ranked non-conference winner.
Yes. So in that case, it would be like Ohio State. But if Indiana beats Iowa State,
Indiana
State
beats Ohio
But
State.
it could be the same scenario with Oregon being undefeated and they dropped one in the Big Ten. Like they could be number 5, right? Because they could still be the highest ranked non-conference winner.
Absolutely.
It's gonna get juicy, boys. It's gonna get
Because
juicy.
if somebody's a little bit injured and they can go or not go, you win. So that way you have that extra bye week. You have that extra week baked in on top of they'll already get like a week off.
Right. I'm with it. Want to hit an ad?
Yeah, let's hit an ad. Let's hit an ad read for the boys.
Let these boys know. 8 of them this week, boys. 8 of them. If you're wondering.
We've been talking a lot of bets, a lot of gambling. Go
lot,
ahead, T.
lot of gambling with DraftKings. The NFL season is rolling along, and the contenders are separating from the pack. The one thing that hasn't changed this season: DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, is the number one place to bet on touchdowns. Fade to the corner of the end zone, running back breaks through the line and gallops 60 yards to a score. We don't care how they get them. We want to bet on touchdowns at DraftKings, and DraftKings is the best place to do it. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player scoring a touchdown. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BUS. That's BUS. For new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Speaking of touchdown bets, bro, just for the love of fucking God, this Bet the Boys parlay.
I know there's a massive curse on it real quick.
You know, somebody had a good comment last week, I think in the comment section, which is a great idea. And we're so fucking stupid. We never think of dumb bullshit like this. But it's like, they're like, hey, when somebody uses their bet, like say Delaney, how he picks Derrick Henry every week. It's kind of like a survivor pick. Like once you pick him, you can't pick him again.
Yeah. But that's making it harder also. Let's just get a win.
But it's like you can use Derrick Henry, I can use Derrick Henry, Delaney can't. So that's 3 times in the year we can use Derrick Henry.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
So it's like making Delaney think a little bit more
I know.
versus just always having Derrick Henry.
Yeah, when I saw James Cook score, I was like, we've really, because that was from the hip. I was literally just looking up defenses. And
Love that. Great pick.
Yeah, and I was just like so happy that it hit. Because I thought Christian McCaffrey already scored.
I know.
And I went and looked at the stats. I go, God, no. And there was still a chance. They still had a shot to get it done, but.
And you know where else we're
happen.
idiots?
A lot of phases in life, but go ahead.
That we picked another touchdown winner on a Thursday night football game.
Wow. That's on all of us.
Yeah, listen, we can be better. Well, there's a lot of areas we can be better in the game. Here's what we need. We just got to get a win. And I feel like if there's going to be a week, it's going to be this week, boys. Why not this week?
Why not this week?
What if we just fucking...
Every reason for the show this week to not be successful, and it's like, why not this week?
Right.
Why not us? Why not
There's
now?
literally one host and a band of the boys in the back. We're gonna put this thing together. Yeah. And we're gonna hope to God, if like literally the only pick that matters to me this week is the Bet the Boys parlay.
I know.
We just need it more than ever because we hit it a bunch last year. Last year we hit those things consistently. This week, boys. This week.
And since I'm not in it, I'll just throw you a few options to think about. What you guys
Oh, here we go.
Options to think about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because when I saw David Montgomery get in the end zone last night, I'm thinking, God.
Go ahead.
Just damn it. Why didn't I pick him?
No, with the options. Go ahead. What are the options?
Oh, yeah. I'll wait.
Okay,
People can hear these
video?
options on the locker room this week. Drops on at 6 a.m.
I thought you were about to give us some game right now on a Monday morning while people are watching this on Tuesday.
Question.
Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs.
I remember last year you guys would do like Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdown passes.
It's just betting on touchdowns.
Betting on
anytime touchdowns.
It has to be anytime
Yeah,
touchdown.
not like quarterbacks, because trust me, we'd have been on that.
Yeah.
We'd have been on that.
Josh Allen scoring a touchdown this week is not a bad thought, though.
He did last week.
I know.
Yesterday.
I know. I know. I thought that too. I was like, God damn it. Huh?
Yeah, I'll do like 2. Yeah.
I think, boys, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a fucking terrible idea.
Bump those odds.
Yeah.
Bump those numbers.
Just bet one guy multiple touchdowns.
Let's go.
No.
Because Jamar got a couple last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Telling you.
Question is, do we keep
Who's gonna be
Derrick
hot?
Henry in this week? Do we keep Derrick Henry in? Because part of me feels nervous. Find out on Thursday. Find out on Thursday. That's fair. That's fair. That's
Maybe
fair.
Justin Jefferson, 2 touchdowns.
Justin Jefferson. What's his name? Sam Darnold had like 3 picks.
Bijan, yeah.
Bijan.
And shout out the Saints too. Like I was in on the Falcons, and I think we might have did rapid fire on the locker room, and I just said the Falcons. I was on Falcons for Pro Football Show, but Big Cat flipped me. He was like, "Hey, interim head coach, this is the special teams coordinator Rizzy. Shout out Rizzy being the interim head coach." But Foster Moreau comes out. This is a leader amongst men. It's the same playbook as like a Bisaccia. Like they're gonna have the energy, they're gonna have the juice.
And AP.
They just fired Dennis Allen. They're hype about Rizzy coming in. And so what a call. What a shouts to Big Cat on flipping me there.
Rizzy got injured. I don't know if you
I
saw
saw,
that.
bro. What did he do?
What-
Did he tear his
what happened?
ACL?
If you saw, he did a presser, and he said someone came up behind him and like kind of like gave him a stinger, but he said his whole left arm went numb.
Bro, he like dropped and was grabbing onto the
He's got a
The
condition.
lineman,
grabbing on the
Yeah.
lineman. And I'm assuming saying like, "Hey, hold me up, keep me up, hold me.
Oh,
Just
bro.
stay right here for what this."
I saw the clip, but I couldn't tell what was going on.
I thought his ACL. Yeah.
He's got himself a stinger, huh?
Yeah, he has like a condition that he said, like, if I get hit too hard, no.
Have any of you boys
Not
ever had a
built for the A
stinger?
gap. Not built for the A gap.
Not like that.
Any of you boys in the back ever had a stinger?
Yeah.
There is. Yeah, getting knocked out is kind of easy compared to a stinger.
What Sean Merriman was explaining last week when he went against Lorenzo Neal
Yeah.
is the exact. Those are all the exact moments on concussion stinger related stuff that I would get. Like when I ran into that cat from the New Orleans
Night,
Saints.
motherfucker.
Yeah, that stuff. It would always be those kind of moments to where everything kind of rushes to your face, feels like a metal bat just hitting like a rail, and everything in your body just goes
Yeah.
limp for a moment.
Yeah, that's one of the worst feelings is a stinger, especially a bad one.
Yeah. Like when I went out, I was out for the ran down on kickoff, ran into the wrong person, and they basically said when I came in the next week, they called it like a spinal cord concussion.
Which is terrifying.
Sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
You did say you've dreamt about hitting someone so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, hey, I've never felt a comment more than that.
Right?
When I saw that on the
that's
yak.
like a real
I saw it and I was like, bro, that's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
Is you just want to, but it's got to be some play that like is incredible. And you just lost your life on that play, but what a highlight.
What a way to go out.
Show it to
That's
that
an
point,
honorable
and
way to
then
go
once
out.
you go down, cut the clip right then and there.
You go out the way you want to go out, playing
Yeah.
the game you love, delivering a hit so hard that you kill yourself.
I saw, yeah. Oh, no.
fucking me. I think-
That's a stinger right there for sure.
That's me saying like, hey, this will all go away in a moment. Like I'll be good.
I saw no context Titans posted a clip of us against Miami, and I got hit, and I kind of just like cut that little clip real quick. But we were playing that same game. It might have been a different time in
Yeah,
Miami.
but you got lifted.
I saw it and I was like, oh, ball's on the ground. Then all of a sudden got beaked. I was like, literally saw that and it all came back to me. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just got smoked like that. But
Did you guys see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The longest game in history.
I don't think that was the one.
Oh yeah,
I don't
that
think
was
the
when
one.
fucking Matt Castle was the quarterback.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
like
yeah.
back in the archive.
But we had a game against Miami, and we're just talking about stingers. Where we were like in the red zone, and I jump set Andre Branch, and I went the way I hit him, like both my arms kind of went limp, and then you can actually see the clip. I'm kind of just like playing basketball for a second. Like thank God the ball got
Can't
out.
use your arms.
Yes, my arms like were not working for a moment. It's brutal. Dude, I literally went and hit him, and I was like moving around him like that. It was weird. Stingers suck, man. I remember kid named Patrick Omame getting those all the time in college. Where and I never had a stinger before. He'd be like, yeah, sometimes I just lose my arm. Like my arm just stops working. I'm thinking that fucking sucks, bro.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling.
And the first stinger I ever got, Buffalo Bills. Brutal. I was like, this is what he's been talking about the whole time. Yeah, dude, how about that hit? Who is that motherfucker too?
Look at this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if it's over. What is that?
You're like looking right at him.
No, I'm looking at the
You
ball.
defend yourself.
I'm looking at the ball. That's a keep your head in a swivel type of mentality. What am I doing?
I mean,
there?
you even went to the ground and threw your legs up.
I know. It's kind of one of those. Maybe I'll just tumble over. Tired too. Miami, dude. That humidity's no joke in Miami.
Yeah,
No joke. I was probably a little sleepy, a little tired there.
Should we dive into Hardy?
Let's jump into Hardy Boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the intro. Again, please, for the love of God, subscribe as Will Compton.
Yeah,
Talks to you about
while you're watching this Hardy episode, if there's a little moment where you wanna raise a glass for some Fireball whiskey,
Get a little
Fireball is the
nasty.
perfect shot for game day and watching pods. Whether you're buying those sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium, or going big with the Fireball cake for your tailgate, or those shooters just on your couch while you're watching the pod. Whether it's a pregame shot in the tailgate lot or a celebratory touchdown shot at the bar, no matter what, it's guaranteed to ignite your game day or podcast experience. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it's the #1 one shot in the U.S. Fireball Whiskey is here to give you the spark that you need to ignite that rivalry all season long. Grab your Fireball buddy, buy a round, and reignite that rivalry flame.
Enjoy the Hardy podcast, 10 a.m. Central Time.
Big hugs.
Stream
tiny
tomorrow.
Kisses. Yeah, stream tomorrow. Locker room Thursday. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Big farts, tiny poots.
Dude,
Was this planned?
Yeah, it was planned.
Yeah, and I tried to get him to include you, and he never responded to me about it, dude. The 2 times I
wanted
was like,
it to be
should I
us.
like hit up Compton, and he was like, oh, sorry.
Hey, Hardy, I'm gonna let you know, if this outfit you're wearing was white, you'd be in a lot of trouble with that beak up like that right
as
now.
Soon as you, just the beak.
Just
Yeah,
the beak in general.
you're right.
That's tough. A lot of whites on this bus too. A lot of whites.
I think it's only quads, dude.
Oh, yeah, it is. We used to have a Mexican. He quit to become a cop.
You just said, it was McAfee that
We're
said something about
recording.
somebody being a
Good. I hope you got all of that. Go ahead and grab that mic, put it next to you. What did McAfee say?
He just said something about being a white on like game day. I think it was him.
Dude,
The old white. He always talks about the old whites.
Yeah, but he said something. What did he was talking about somebody, and he was like, and he's a white boy.
He's a white boy.
I can't remember.
Dude,
Something like that.
Pat is one of those guys that continuously like pushes the envelope.
He's
on
like Theo
national
Von type guy.
television.
He's
Yeah.
like you could just kind of get away with
He's
it.
got the energy, dude. He's got
Yeah.
the energy, and it feels like it's kind of going that way back to have a little more fun with your words.
I think that it will. Dude,
You
don't
didn't
even
like
get me.
that?
Don't even get me started on
You
this
didn't like that?
generational
No,
shit.
Yeah.
But it will.
it's
It's
way
coming.
too
It's
hot
going
of
to
a climate
swing
right now.
It's going to swing way back to the politically incorrect side. I feel like,
Right. And
and
I feel like
in a way that it has a sense of humor.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think so.
There's a line,
I hope so.
right? There's a line, and the
Yeah.
line is if that was all white, right? That's the line. We can't.
It's costume. The gift that keeps on giving. Everybody's probably wondering mid-November, like while we're
By the
why are
way,
we rocking
this
our
episode
costume?
comes out October 12th. November 12th. November 12th.
Cool. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
But this is the week of Halloween. The boys were repping our
Gotta have it.
costumes.
Yeah. You know.
Gotta have it. Shout out to Jesus Pieces, dude. Yeah. So what's up, dude? What have you been up to?
Dude, I'm done touring.
Forever?
No,
Just
but
right
for
now?
this year, we played. I had 2 nights at Red Rocks, which was like amazing. That was a week ago. Yeah, that was last weekend, and I just went home to my deer camp in Mississippi and got a bunch of stuff ready for deer hunting. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of in. We're having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a boy a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
Due date? When's the due date?
The due date is February 24th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Feb
man.
24.
You excited?
So, yeah, very. First one. So
Do you know boy or girl?
I do. Well,
Are we saying?
this comes out November 12th.
Yeah. I know you gotta.
It's we can edit this out if in case we haven't announced it yet.
sure.
But we've announced their pregnancy, but it's a girl.
Oh!
Girl, Dad,
Let's go,
Let's
dude.
fucking go. I'm so excited, bro.
Were you like one of the guys that was like, as long as it's a healthy baby, or did you have like a want? Like, I want a boy. I want a girl. I know.
In the back of your mind, dude.
Of
Yeah, of
course.
course. Like what man doesn't want a son, you know?
No doubt. But you've been around a lot of cats that have sons, right?
Man, honestly, a lot of my buddies have girls. Like
Something
a
to
lot
water.
of my I mean, I will say, I don't know, it's 60-40 girl dad to boy dad.
But I'll say this: every boy I've been around under the age of 5 fit for a straight jacket.
Dude.
Like they are just
Psychos.
crazy.
Yeah.
They're animals.
Yeah.
They're animals. And I was very much like, I wanted a boy so bad. Now I have 2 girls, 7 and 4. They're amazing. They're fantastic.
I've heard
listeners. They
they're
play
so
nice.
much easier, dude.
So, yeah, I heard 0 to like 11 with girls is way easier,
Right.
and then it flips the script on you when
Yeah,
Aunt Flo
yeah,
comes
yeah.
to town.
Yeah.
And it's the exact opposite for boys. Like 0 to 12 is like we might have to put this boy in a home. Like, it's that bad.
Yeah.
And then he hits puberty, and then all of a sudden things get better or worse. Who knows what happened?
Men don't know it, but we need daughters, bro.
Dude,
Yes.
I have
You
no
think
doubt.
you want a boy and then you have a girl, and it's
Well,
the
and
best.
Callie tells me too. She's like, think about it. Of course, I wasn't like boo. When we found out it was a girl, I was ecstatic. But like, she was like, think about it. Like, you can teach everything that you wanted to teach your son to your daughter, and she will be fucking badass because of that. Whereas
Yeah.
if it's a son, it's just like, okay, cool, he knows how to fish and hunt and like whatever. But like, you know, the fact that your baby girl hopefully will have an interest in that shit. Like makes it even cooler, you know?
No doubt. And also, if you decide to have another kid and it is a boy, when he gets to high school, she's going to bring all her hot friends over. And that's a big dub for him.
Dude, no doubt.
That's a huge dub.
Yeah.
So there's
It's a big
there's a
dub
hindsight.
for him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what you
with
want.
I had an older sister, man. I feel that.
Yeah, right?
I have an older sister.
And she had that one friend that you can think about right now. And you're like, yeah, I was so happy when she came over. Don't have to say her name. Don't need to.
Yeah, I
but,
won't,
but you know.
I do.
Yeah, you do. Dude, your wife is a fucking rock star. She was with us at Beer Olympics.
Dude.
I guess last year, right?
2 years ago.
Well, yeah, but technically the new year hasn't started.
2023.
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
Dude,
She was putting them down. You guys were
them down.
competing until that Flip Cup came.
No, that's what we dominated Flip Cup.
No,
Right,
they
but that's when
dominated.
it all started to hit.
Well,
after
that's
the Flip
when we
Cup.
started puking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you something. She went to Ole Miss, first of all. When I met her, I was afraid of her when I met her, dude. Like, seriously, the first time, so I'm a little bit older than her, so I was like out of college when we met. And I came back and went to like a formal with her as like an older guy, you know?
Yeah.
And man, dude, just animal, dude. Like all of her friends, but her especially, just like dog mentality. It was fucking insane, bro. And I was like, what have I gotten myself into? And that, you know, as she like graduated and had become more domestic, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
She, you know, that party side, as it happens to a lot of us, that slowly fades away. And man, like I've seen it come out in her like twice, but the most was the since she's, you know, been out of college, and the Beer Olympics was by far the most like potent version of that. And I was just like, fuck
The
yeah,
animal
we're
side
back.
She was
came
a
back
rock
out.
star,
It's
dude.
insane how
It's
it
kind of
comes
nice
out
to
in
see
her.
that. Like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
totally. And I
that.
mean, we've only been together, I mean, gosh, it's been I think 7 years now, but like, you know, it goes away, and a few years go by and you kind of forget, you know, like just how you used to get down and stuff. And it was awesome. It was fun for me as just kind of a bystander to just be like, fuck yeah, everybody's looking at you like, who the fuck is this girl right now, dude? It
And
was
when I
awesome.
hit you up and I was like, you want to do it? And you're like, yeah, can my wife be my partner? I thought, that's such a mistake. But
Yeah.
it ended up being like the highlight of the entire day.
Yeah, dude.
Was
She
her
has,
just murdering people over and over and over again.
look at that. And dude, I will say this. I was thinking about on the drive here. I don't know how, like, puking to me is not, there comes a point where, like, if you have a stomach bug or, like, you're on an airplane and you feel like you could puke, like, I understand, like, the mental, like, holding it in. But the amount of beer that was in my gut, dude, it's like cutting yourself and trying to convince yourself not to bleed. Like, that's what it felt like to me. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm not going to throw up right now. I don't know how I don't know how you guys did it, man.
It was a lot, dude. It is a lot. And there's been some conversations about next year, less alcohol consumption. And I'm against it.
Or just throw some freaking liquor in there, dude. It's like, I don't know.
Dude,
because it's the amount of fucking liquid. That's what got us, dude. I'm telling you.
It is it's a marathon, dude. It's a true marathon. Now you and Mark from Midland.
Yeah.
The boys went toes. Really, your wife and him went toes.
Yeah, I was, dude, again, I
were
was just
chilling.
like, you know, watching the whole thing go down.
Have you guys made up?
But Callie, like,
Oh, we got
again,
real like that?
I remember like Mark coming up to me and be like, "That's fucking bullshit. Like you can't throw up and still compete." I'm like drunk.
Just
I'm like,
guys
dude, I
being
don't.
guys.
Yeah. Like trying to figure out all of the rules in the middle.
I
of
don't
the
know
game.
if like all the footage is on there, but she went after his ass, dude. She was calling him like a pussy and like a bitch and shit like that. It was pretty awesome. And then since then, like, yeah, like we've seen each other at award shows and stuff, and like they give a big hug. But at the time, it was still, you know, her like that competitive edge.
It stayed in between the lines. That's good.
Got to
Yeah,
keep it in
for
between,
sure.
lines.
Between the lines.
Absolutely. We had one this year. We were in the finals, and it got chippy. There was
Who were y'all?
some
Who
demonstrative.
were the other two?
It was David Bakhtiari and his boy Joey,
Okay.
comedian. What's
Yeah.
his last name? Can we look that up so we give
Avery.
some respect? Joey Avery.
Joe Avery.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we were, I think that's the most drunk. We were more drunk this year than we were last
Oh,
year.
it's
Really?
not even
Yeah.
close for
Was
me.
there
Not even close.
were
I was telling him
the
to kill himself.
the game? Were the
Will did have the
games
worst
different? Was there
scaries,
more
bro.
beer this year? Like, what's the deal?
We figured it up because Flip Cup, Taylor wanted the pitchers to cover all the flip cups, so you're kind of chugging and flipping at the same time.
Bro,
So we figured
PTSD,
up within a couple hours, we put down like 16 beers.
16 and a half beers, I believe, was the number.
That was another reason why. So Callie and I, we were winning flip cup, but we kept fucking tying people. So we kept having to run it back and drink. So we drank like, and she and I specifically, we would like tie every game and then win. So we drank like probably 7 or 8 more beers than everybody else, dude. It was horrible.
It's fucking...
The video of her puking between her fingers is like one of my favorite things of all time. And Michael Chandler, just like, I was like, nobody saw that. And like the first thing is like Chandler like turning around and just be like, and like walking off.
He's a war daddy, man. He's the type of cat that can drink and the next day be totally fine. Doesn't matter how much he drinks.
I don't know how people do that, man.
It's impressive. It's for
he
me.
was in the sauna the next day, ready to cut us off.
Yeah, this year he texted us or sent us a video in the sauna being like, I have to take a break from you guys for a little bit. He was back in like 3 days.
You feel like hangovers, a lot of that is like mental?
No.
Oh,
No,
of course he's a fighter and his metabolism is like insane, but like I know people that are not fighters and that are like normal dudes or girls that can do the same thing. I know guys that are like 60 that can wake up and like
just start drinking.
Are they just tougher than like way tougher than I am?
think they're just alcoholics.
Yeah, they're just about they're just about what the hair of the dog. Just get, hey, let's start drinking again, and the hangover will go away.
But think about like parents' weekend at colleges and how those parents like they get fucked up, and the next day they're just like up and they're just chipper. And is that like a generational thing? Is that like
must be? Maybe we just got softer. That's a good point.
Maybe.
Or when you have kids, you just got to be on your P's and Q's the next day.
And like for so long, you're just so used to that.
See, this is where I'm like, the hangovers are not. It's not a mental thing, because whenever I drink, I would just become the worst dad the next day. I don't want to do anything. I want to lay on the couch and just be a bag of dicks.
Eat bad food
for 24 hours. Eat greasy food.
Yeah.
Give me some Mexican in there.
I love how he's like, do you guys think hangovers are like placebo? You kind of just think they're real,
like you think you should, so you do. Yeah. But you remember being like in like 18, 19, 20, like your first couple years in college?
Oh, dude.
And just being like,
throw up,
all day.
black out, pass out on the floor, and wake up and be like,
no problem.
Maybe like 2 hours of feeling shitty, and then like you drink 1 bottle of water and you're good.
Not for me anymore, dude.
No way. Not me either, dude.
The Beer Olympics took me like literally probably a week to get back to feeling normal.
Yeah.
It was like a full 7 days.
Yeah. I mean, you were there for...
That's the problem too. It's like you start going at 11 a.m. and we weren't finished. It was dark when we're in our final beer pong game.
Yeah.
And trying to play beer pong when you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those days, man. I was so drunk, but even in my drunken stupor, at the end, I was like, please, I just want to go home. I'm home.
You're home. I just want to go to my bed.
I want everyone to leave now. I'm so ready.
Like, you at that point, you're like, you cannot dip. You have to be like the last guy. Right?
Yes.
Like you kind of have to be the host, right?
Yeah.
See the last person out.
Parties.
Yeah, and then I try to talk everybody into a sleepover after, and it didn't work out. My boys from high school, they stayed, but I had like Dennis Kelly, his boys. Will fell asleep on the couch, and I was like,
he's like, come on, just let's sleep over, let's play Risk, and I'm just like
trying to load Risk on my Xbox. I walked out and I came back in the room. They all left. I was like, oh, just being left alone.
They gave each other the look, like you guys ready?
Yeah. Well, Will woke up and he like got an Uber right away. Like wasn't talking to anybody. It was like, I'm leaving.
I ordered some Chinese food. It sat on my front porch the entire night because I got home and just passed out on the couch.
Dude, I've been there.
It's a fun time, man. It's a really fun time.
It's a great event. I'm really sorry that we missed it this year. That was kind of in the peak of my like touring schedule, but.
You've been all over the place, bro. I feel like you guys have just been on the road. Just road animals.
This summer was wild. Yeah, I made a decision last year around this time, maybe like earlier October, that because like a normal, if you're gonna gig like how most normal country artists who are having like doing okay, like doing well with like selling tickets and stuff, are playing like 60 shows a year, and we were kind of hovering more around like 80 or 90, and I hit a wall last year, and I just kind of had a revelation of like didn't want to be gone that much. Like there are people, I have buddies, I have guys that work for me, and I have artist buddies that like they love being on the road. Like being on the road.
Jelly says he's on the road 5 times a week.
Loves it. I don't. I love playing shows. I love my fans. I mean all that, like I love it, but it's being on the road, like being gone, the travel. I don't know. I think some people, it's a not even a lifestyle, but it's like there's something about like, I really don't know how to pinpoint it, but
what was like the revelation you were having when you started to hit the wall?
Man, I just kind of looked up at we were having conversations about what would be now this year, and we were towards the we were somewhat towards the end of my halfway through my fall tour, and I was just like, I'm fucking exhausted, and like, you know, I'm not like, I'm a songwriter, like not just for myself, but like I come back to town and I write songs, and I'm a publisher, and I have people that I've signed, and like I've not that I don't think I've overdone it by any means, but I love to have my hands in a lot of different parts of the music industry because I love it so much. And touring was the one thing that I was just like, this is my least favorite. I don't dislike it, but it was like my least favorite. So I hit a point where I was looking at next year, and I was like, this is gonna be the same fucking thing. We're gonna start back in like February, and I'm never gonna be able to catch up. And I finally was like, what is exhausting me the most? Like, what is the shit on my plate that I would be happy if I took some of it off? And it was touring. So we started. So I kind of made a deal with myself. I was and honestly with Callie, which she's never ever like encouraged me to take time off. She's just like, do your thing. But I was like, what if we start in May and we gig our ass off during the summer, and we tour super hard, and we play all the festivals, and we do all the things, and like on September whatever, or you know, October 1st, whatever it is, like we stop, and like I do my in-town music industry shit in October, in the fall, and then in the spring, and then so that way in my head we're like, okay, summer, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like a season, if you will, like, and it's like I'm mentally preparing that this part of the year is going to be busy as shit, and it's just like, it is what it is, and we're going to have a blast, and we're going to look forward to it, and we're going to miss it because, you know, there's going to be so much time passed, as opposed to just like catching up every freaking week, and Monday and Tuesday, and having clothes washed, and freaking being tired for 2 days, and then getting your shit back together and getting on a bus, and it's just a constant thing, and it's just something that I'm not... I love. There are parts of the road that I love, but just it's something about the being gone and the travel that was just too much, and so that was the cut that I made.
Did like the thought of like starting a family, was that kind of part
definitely
of the
that?
too?
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you don't think it was causing like, I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, it was causing Callie and I to butt heads on a lot of shit, like just being gone, and then it's like, when are we gonna go on a vacation or do like anything together? And I kind of realized, I was like, man, I'm really prioritizing the road because I have this mentality of like, strike while the iron's hot, it could all go away kind of thing. And I just was finally like, man, life's too short, and I will always tour. Like, I mean, and from a business standpoint, like that's where most of my like money, that's where most of my like income comes from. But
that's the big money for everybody, right?
Yeah. 100%. But it's like, there comes a time where it's like, why? I mean, everybody's different, but I was like, I don't need this much money. I'm good with this much money.
Yeah.
Let's just do this.
Finding that is special, dude. Being able to finally be like, okay, this is enough for me is something that I don't feel like a lot of people get.
For sure.
A lot of people figure out.
And a lot too, like it'll change like when the little girl comes, especially.
Oh my God. I'm going to hate going on the road even more, dude.
Yeah.
Especially when she's not out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works like you leave Thursday through Sunday and come back?
Wednesday night. And we get in like usually Sunday around midday.
Damn.
And so usually Sunday, I mean, when you're a dad, you know, you got to be like ready to roll. But for these past few years, Sunday is like recovery day. And even if it wasn't like a big drinking weekend, it's just like the travel and the no sleep, you know how this shit is.
Yeah.
You just kind of hang around, sleep on Sunday. And then I'd get up and I would, you know, have meetings or write songs on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Wednesday afternoon, pack my shit and go back out to wherever we're going.
If touring is like your least favorite, still love it, but least favorite, what's your favorite thing about the music industry that you do?
Writing songs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about writing songs just fucking does it for you?
I don't know. You ever seen the movie Holes?
Good. Yeah, of course.
You know Zero?
Uh-huh.
When people are like, what do you like doing? He's like, I like digging holes.
Yeah.
That's writing songs for me.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think that like none of the music industry, period, the end, would exist without the song. I mean, it's like obvious, it's like an obvious thing, but like that is where the entire music industry begins, is like hit songs. And it's just, man, when you get in a room and you know you got on something where you're like, this is going to be huge, or even like this is going to like I have a song, Give Heaven Some Hell, and it's like, it was not a number one, but like we knew, I was like, this song is going to freaking heal people, dude. And like that is the coolest feeling in the world, to know that this song is going to like affect people and like help people heal or cope, or you know what I mean, or whatever it is. And like there's something so freaking dope about how that came out of like me and 2 or 3 of my like beer drinking buddies, stupid ass country brains, and somehow we got together and did something really cool, and how that's going to move like a mass amount of people. It's like there's nothing to me that compares to that.
Do you like writing with people, or?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I'll write by myself some, but
not. It's better to have a whole think tank.
For sure.
Because I was told, like, if you're I think in the country industry specifically, if like the 3 of us are writing a song and I don't do shit, but you 2 both do it all, but because I'm in the room, I get credit.
Yeah,
that works like
everybody
that.
has a bad day.
Damn. Yeah. So you got to essentially be really choosy about who walks in that room when you guys are writing.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's all scheduled. Like, you know, you have your publisher, and typically they are like, your publisher will schedule. Like I could check my phone for the next month and I can tell you everybody I'm writing with, like every day that I'm writing, right? And like, so it's usually scheduled. Like there's not people like poking their head in and being like, what are you guys working on today? And just like hop in or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, dude, everybody has an off day, and that's just that's been the Nashville rule for a long time. I feel like the day that goes away will kind of be like that'll be like the end of like the Nashville songwriting process, because they say drop a word, take a third, dude. That's the thing. Yeah.
Why do you think,
take a third?
Yeah. Why do you think that's like such an important thing for Nashville?
I think it helps people. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's very much a part of the culture. In LA, you have lawyers after hit songs get written calling each other and saying, well, my writer said that your writer didn't do shit and all that stuff. And the Nashville culture is that it's very competitive, but it's also very
collaborative.
Yeah, and everybody roots for each other's success. Like there is nobody there. It's really not that sharky, especially not in the songwriting industry. Like people are truly rooting for each other's success, and I think it's also a very small town. And if you have somebody in the room that is or could potentially be a hit writer one day, the last thing you want to do is have a fucking lawyer call and be like, hey, my writer said this guy didn't do shit. We're going to take him off the song. What if that person turns into a giant hit song? What if he gets better as a songwriter and becomes somebody that you could like very much so benefit from way later in your career? And that person's like, well, fuck you. You took me off a song back in the day because you said I was having an off day. It's just, when you get in the room, man, it's just everybody is there for each other. And I've never, ever experienced in a true Nashville writing session or post that, like I've never experienced somebody being like, hey, I heard so-and-so didn't really do shit today. Do you want to take him off the song or give him him or her less percent? Yeah.
Have you ever, so there's never really been that situation. Was there ever, it's like 2020 when COVID happened, you saw a bunch of people like leaving and going like to Austin and Tennessee and Nashville and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the culture was in danger at all during that time? Because I feel like a lot of talented people kind of left California and to seek salvation in Austin and Nashville, Tennessee.
Man, as far as like the writing thing went, I think there was like a month of like panic, or just really more than anything, a bunch of songwriters being like, well, you guys want to play Call of Duty or what? They're like,
yeah.
But everybody picked up on the Zoom writing thing really quick. So like it really didn't change much. People moved. I know a guy that moved to freaking Canada. People definitely like, moved to other places, or like if they had a cabin or like a lake house or something, they would go out there. But man, the Zoom thing like took over for, even after things started opening up, it took a lot of people a long time to get back to doing it in person, because of how cool, like once you kind of figured out how to do the Zoom thing, which there was a little bit of a learning curve, but it became so efficient and people really, really leaned into that during COVID. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an off day?
Oh, for sure.
Is there a song out there that has your name on it that you think, damn, I kind of just wrote on this one?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I know the song. I'll tell you the song. It was, it's called, I think it's called The Way I Am, or The Way That I Am. And singer Michael Ray cut it. And I wrote it with my, Josh Miller, who's a great songwriter, and a guy named Ben West. And I remembered I came in that day and Josh had like the verse and chorus already done, which like doesn't happen all the time. And at the end of when he like played it and we're messing with the second verse, and I got a call that my dog, I can't remember how, but my dog at the time had gotten out of my apartment and was running around my neighborhood. And so I got, how did that even happen now that I think about it? But long story short, I had to leave. And then like 2 months later, Josh or somebody called me and was like, hey, Michael Ray's cutting our song that we wrote. And I was like, sick.
That's awesome.
But I specifically remember that, like, that was just a day I was lucky to be there, you know.
So do you ever walk over to Josh and be like, hey, man?
I'm too embarrassed.
Yeah, for real? And you've obviously
He's probably going to see this, though, and be like, yeah, I remember that day.
Write a word, take a third.
Yeah, I remember that day leaving and being like, damn, I didn't do shit. It's just, you know, it happens. And that's the thing, though, like, it could be you one day. You could come in and just be having a bad morning or whatever it is, and you know, people, that's the beauty of it, man. Everybody has a bad day, you know, and you shouldn't be punished for that because you showed up and you work hard, and that seems like an everybody gets a trophy mentality, but it's just the Nashville way, man. Somebody could be having a horrible day at home, but they got up and they fucking put their pants on and they drove in and they wrote a song that day. And just because maybe they were in their head about something, if a hit got written, that could be you the next time. So you just, everybody in the room gets the same.
We interrupt this episode to ask you a question. You know what we all need to get more of? Off of your ass. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass and have you feeling like you're an actual mountain. My favorite flavor, the boy always loves the original. You know I've shouted out on the pod before, but that gold can caffeine-free Mountain Dew was my favorite growing up. A mountain where the weather is always perfect, your friends are ready to hang, and a day of epic proportions awaits. Here's some games and activities that could be exemplified here. Picking up a football, tossing a frisbee around with your boys, do a longest throw contest, maybe some video games, yes, outdoors. Kickball, frisbee, golf, wiffle ball, pickleball, whatever the game is, Mountain Dew's here for it. The mountain is calling, you should answer. Grab your friends, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
Do the do. It seems like I don't know if it was a couple years ago, maybe a year ago or so, like it's this like this newer wave of country music, this rock and roll country music really started taking place. And there was like the Highwaymen and the Outlaws and stuff like that back in the day. And now it kind of seems like you and Ernest and Jelly like were like the tip of the spear as far as that goes. Does that feel, Morgan as well, excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys were a huge part of like that transition of country music? Because just to go a little bit further, it seemed like, 10, 15 years ago, people were doing country music, then getting out of country music to go do more popular genres.
Yeah, and now it's the opposite.
Yeah, now it's flipped. The popular genres are now jumping in. Post Malone is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Going and being one of the biggest stars in the world, being like, I'm going to cut a country album.
Yeah.
And it seems like when you kind of think about the transition, your name is really big in that, at least in my thought process. Did you feel that way?
I mean, I don't know.
It's hard to gas yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I guess so, man. I mean, back then, especially with me and Ern, like some of that stuff, like especially the stuff that kind of put Morgan on the map, we were just like writing songs that we thought were cool for our buddy, and I don't know, that stuff. I mean, I obviously like I can see the physical proof of like leaning into the rock thing and how it like worked and all that, but man, I don't know. It's hard to have a gauge on that, like to be like, yeah, I was a part of like a huge movement or whatever. Yeah. But it is, I will say I do feel like I am a part of a class of artists that is like, when I think of that, I do think of me, Jelly, Morgan, Ern, Lainey Wilson. That is definitely, we have all together been a part of a shift in country music that brought maybe a wave of just, I would even put Luke, even though Luke was like 5 or 6 years ahead of us on that, like normalcy, like normal people kind of singing a little bit more about like normal shit, and that sort of resonating with a huge, mass crowd of people, kind of thing. Just a new wave of this like authenticity thing that happened in country. Because, if you look at bro country, which no disrespect at all, that shit like FGL, where they put me on the map like as a songwriter. Mm-hmm. That was this larger than life kind of persona, right? Like everything had like a big professional wrestler vibe to it, if you will. And then even guys like Stapleton and again like Luke Combs and these people that were just kind of normal looking people started singing songs that were a little bit more of like a different subject matter. And I think that just there's so many people from small towns that were like, not that I don't think we're tired of the bro country thing, but the normal life type shit had gone away for so long that they really resonated with that. And that's kind of the movement I think that's happening now. It's like just a little bit more, it's kind of gone from this like giant larger than life thing to like I don't know, people just singing songs about life and shit. And it's really cool.
It feels like they went like country was country, and then it's all like all the popular music, and then country went into this like adapt or die type of situation. Like we got to be more like everything else.
Pop country stuff.
And now it's finding its way back into, I don't know,
just the
country music.
I feel that even with all the pop country stuff, I feel like people from my hometown, they'd really be like, they'd want to put you on like the Jamie Johnsons of the world.
Yeah, totally.
You were talking about Florida Georgia Line putting you on the map a little bit. Did you see our episodes with Florida Georgia Line?
I have.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought it was great.
The whole time we said, I'm like, God damn it, we're opening this again.
I mean, I felt like I was getting messages too from just people in the music world that was talking about, hey, loved your episodes with Florida Georgia Line, because not a lot of people knew what was going on.
I thought it was very professional of you guys to have them both on, to give both of their sides of the story.
You're doing such a great job, bro. I want you to know that. Like you're doing great.
I'm in good standing with both of those guys, and I really don't have an opinion about it. So but I thought my main thing was, who did you have on first?
Tyler.
Okay. When you guys announced that you were going to have Brian on, I was like, I'm glad that they did that.
That happened quick.
Not because, you know, not in defense of either or, but just that, like, you know, I think that's the purest form of journalism is to, or whatever you want to call it these days, is to have both people tell their side of the story. And I was like, that was sick.
It was lucky. That actually was luck at the draw, because the plan, the plan was never to have Brian Kelly on. We didn't really, I've probably said 10 words to him. And then after the Tyler thing came out, it was very quick that he wanted to come on. Yeah, reached out and wanted to come on. We're like, I mean,
he was fired up, ready to go. I remember sitting in the barber chair. Taylor called the day of the drop with the Tyler one, and he's like, he wants to come on like now. I was like, all right, let's. And picked up he called me. I picked up the phone. His wife texted my wife and was like, can BK call Taylor? And she's like, yeah. Called me. He's like, I want to come on. I was like, all right, tomorrow's open. Like, do you want to come on tomorrow? He's like,
here?
yes.
Nice.
It's like, all right. Call Will. It's like, hey, we're doing this. He's like, all right. Still getting a haircut.
A lot of that drama and stuff was like, so my relationship with them was, they had me out as this was like 2016 and 17. They had me out like almost every show of those 2 years that they had as a songwriter. And I basically helped them write their one of their records. It was called Can't Say I Ain't Country. And apparently there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but that stuff was just, you know, that was, to us, we had no idea. You know, all the songwriters out there.
You never felt that at all walking into a room with them?
No, not really. I mean, either they or their management did a really good job of like not airing out any drama to anybody other than what was going on between them. Because I never really knew until after the fact. When I heard my manager at the time, or still is my manager, he was also theirs, let me know that they were disbanding or whatever. I wasn't shocked, but I was definitely like, really? You know what I mean? It was enough that I wasn't like, saw that one coming.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
You're kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like you know.
Especially on top of the world too.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
You were talking about like appreciating being in that conversation of that wave of country music in Nashville and everything else. When did you know that iron was getting hot for you guys? Like when was the moment?
Oh man, I will never forget. Morgan, when he was still like a nobody, which is so crazy to think about, recorded Up Down, and I was like, cool. And I remembered around it was sometime in May, my manager called me and said, hey, well, Up Down. So around May, Up Down was like top 10, and that was my first hit. I wrote Up Down, and that was like my first top 10. I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna have a little bit of success, make a little bit of money, and then
What year was this? I hate to cut you off.
2018.
Okay.
Around May of 2018, and then Seth called me again and said, well, he was like, hey, Up Down's probably gonna go number 1, and then like a week later, he called me. He was like, you have the next, you wrote the next Florida Georgia Line single, and it was Simple. Was the song. And then like a week after that, he called me and was like, you have the next Chris Lane single, and it was Talk You Out of It. And then or not Talk You Out of It, excuse me, I Don't Know About You is the name of the song. And then somebody else called me. There was another one, it was Jameson Rogers actually, and they were like, you have the next Jameson Rogers single, and which was called Some Girls, and all those songs ended up going number 1. And and then it was like a month after that, they were like, hey, Blake Shelton's gonna record God's Country. And then it was like, I mean, I remembered there was a period of 6 months where for people, since I have been in town, where like you have nothing and then you get a hit. And then if the cards all fall right, you'll get one, and then you'll get another one, and you'll get another one.
No shit.
And it kept happening and kept happening. There was no rhyme or reason to any of it. I mean, there was no like, I felt like I got better as a songwriter. I definitely do, but everybody, I mean, that's just a part of anything that you do. You get better at it the more you do it, but it was like a time thing. And I just remembered like, okay, this is it. And then after that, and at the time, I was still just a songwriter. And this was like 2018. And this was when like Simple and Up Down and all that stuff was kind of popping off. And my manager, Seth, called me and well, really, it's kind of a long story, but Tyler Hubbard he was in my ear like every other weekend. Like, dude, you got to do the artist thing. That's what they say. Do the artist thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all my buddies were signing record deals and going, and they were just like gone, and their life was over. And like, my buddies who love to hunt and fish and all that shit. And they were like looking at me like, don't fucking do it, dude. Like, this shit sucks.
No shit.
A little bit, yeah, because it's like so grindy, man, and like you don't know. There's so much unknown, and you don't know if it's going to work out. But that's a part of the process. But next thing I know, Seth England, around that time where he was calling me to say I had the Simple and Up Down was going to go number 1, blah blah blah, called me and was like, come into Big Loud, it's our record label. We want to chat with you about something. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I go in, I walk into it's like something out of a movie. I walk into Seth's office and all the label heads are there. And he literally basically just like handed me a record deal. And I was just a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no intentions of being an artist at all. And so I took it and sat on it for months. I sat on it for like a few months and like didn't know what to do because I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. All my buddies are like literally it's like remember on Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where the guy that gets he's like in prison, he turns around, he's like, do not seek the treasure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. But I was reading this book called The Alchemist. Have you ever read that book?
Yeah, it's a great book.
I just finished it.
Paulo Coelho? Something
like, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And it talked about all the omens and like opportunities. And I was basically like, I feel like this is a sign. And so that summer, around all that same time of the songwriter stuff was happening, I just signed a record deal and just was like, all right, here we go.
Dude, that's fucking wild. So those 2 months you were just kind of sitting on it. Were they calling you and being like, hey, what are you going to do?
Not really. They didn't put a lot of pressure on me.
Really?
But they've now become like dear friends of mine. We work together, obviously, but like there was a lot of strategy involved. Like they knew how much I love Joey Moy, who was my producer, who was like FGL's producer and Morgan's producer and all these people. And I had loved him since back when he produced Nickelback and all that. And like Joey called me out of the blue when I didn't know him, and I was like, "Well, that's pretty cool." And now looking back, I'm like, I'm sure that somebody was like, "Hey, it'd probably help if you called Hardy." You know what I mean? Like, there was some shit like that
Get
definitely
him going.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked, and I don't regret it one bit. But it was all there was the summer of 2018 was just a very, it was like I was at that point I was 8 or 9 years into town and with no success, and it was a really cool summer.
Yeah, I was
going
to ask you about that. Like, what was those 9 years like? Was it just how many times you like, dude, what am I doing?
I never, that my biggest like mantra or whatever so I went to MTSU.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated in 2013.
Shout out Kevin Byard.
and I signed a publishing deal shortly thereafter, which you guys obviously know, the publishing deal, right? So, and I went 4 years and I did not get a single cut. Like I didn't have a single person record or even really sniff recording one of my songs. And in that time, I think I was just cocky enough or like stupid enough that like I was more, instead of like discouraged with myself, I was more pissed off and couldn't figure out why nobody wanted to cut one of my songs, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that that kind of dumb blindness or maybe kept pushing me a little bit. I feel like you truly have to be stupidly like, you have to like just blindly believe in yourself to a point where it's almost like delusion until it actually happens.
Delusion,
Yeah.
It's like almost having too much awareness at that point in your life is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're like 4 years in, someone would probably think to themselves with a lot of awareness, hey, I don't know if this is working out for me. But to be that kind of confidence is...
Yeah, and look, and I didn't even know I was, doing that at the time. Like, looking back, I was like, boy, you sure did believe in yourself for a guy that songs weren't good enough yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. There's just something about like, I think all that shit, man, manifestation, whatever you want to call that. I feel like when you kind of have your blinders on and you're like, this is going to happen for me at some point. And if you just truly don't have a backup plan, and that was my thing. So to answer your question, like I never considered coming home, moving back home or anything. I just kind of was like, it's going to happen. And it eventually it just kind of did.
And it's interesting too. Like I always thought like, if you're in the rooms with certain people, like your boys or your friends, and they know that you're a good songwriter, they kind of tell somebody else, hey, he's pretty good. But it sounds like you're waiting, you're sitting there waiting, and your management calls you up and like, hey, you're going to write this song for so-and-so next week. Or this is going to be the next one you're writing. Like when you finally got that number one, he calls like, hey, you're going to write this song. Hey, you're going to write this song. Were you knowing at the time, like Blake Shelton, did you know that he liked you as a songwriter and you were going to write his song? Or is it basically these management teams figure out like, hey, it's going to be Hardy. Hardy's going to write this song for him.
No, I'm telling you, it was all like, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it, dude. I'm telling you, when I wrote God's Country, it was the first song I wrote in 2019. And I wrote that song and I left that day thinking like, that's a cool song. And you just get a call that like 2 days later, my publisher was like, hey, I sent that to Blake's producer and Blake apparently loves it and he's going to record it like in a week. But there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like you just wrote a song that day and you're hoping that it lands somewhere.
And do you even know Blake Shelton at the time?
No.
Like, does he know of you?
At the
or
time,
he just hears your song and hears you write it up and he's like, I love this song. This is what I'm going to record.
I think that I don't think, I mean, I was still so young, even just as an artist then, because I was like six or 8 months into my artist career or whatever. Probably don't think he knew who I was at all.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to writing, does the name of the writer play a part in the artist choosing the song?
Absolutely. Once you get to a certain point, absolutely.
Yeah. So like just getting your foot in the door is really difficult.
Yeah, totally.
People see Hardy and they're like, who the fuck is... Yeah.
I think that it's almost like a placebo effect, that like if you get a song sent to you and there's 3 giant hit songwriters who have written songs that you love, you're going to listen to that song differently than you are if it's 3 guys that you've never heard of in your life.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know if it tricks people, but it definitely doesn't hurt to see.
Yeah.
Like Ashley Gorley is number 1. He's written like 80 something number ones, and the next closest to him is like 45 or some shit like that. Yeah, he's the most successful. Ashley Gorley.
Ashley Gorley, pull him up, Sherm. I want to see you.
That's so fascinating. It feels like the country world. It's like I was going to be an artist, and they felt like I had something, and then they're like, "Hey, Hardy's going to write your next song." It's like almost in my head, like, "Oh, damn, maybe I am kind of nice." You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like pair everything together.
But it sounds like they just have like a sheet of songs and they're like,
that's more of what it is. Like? Yeah. I mean, you have like camps and stuff where like, like you're a certain publishing company will go, hold out we did like a cabin in Leaper's Fort, and like we would have artists come in and attempt to write songs for that person. But really like it's, you just, the beauty of songwriting is that you just kind of go in and you write a song and it gets sent to somebody and they fall in love with it, and the next thing you know, it's a hit. Like there's so much blindness to songwriting. There's a lot of strategy, but at the end of the day, the artist has to love the song. It could be the best song in the fucking world, and the artist might not like story songs, but like, and it could be, you could send, like, if I wrote whatever song and send it to Cole Swindell, who's like, you know, I can use him because he's like a friend of mine, but like, and he's maybe not a big story song guy, and he could pass on it, and then I could send it to Cody Johnson, and Cody Johnson would be like, this is the best song ever, and cut it, and it becomes a hit. There's just no, like, it's just so no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's all dependent on like that person's taste, what they think is a hit song. It's just all over the place.
What's the room like when you're walking into a writer's round or whatever? Like if it's three
Like a
guys,
session?
Yeah, like three guys you don't know. Maybe a couple,
let's say you're
maybe a
younger
couple
in the
names.
game. You're younger in the game.
Oh, younger in the game?
And you're
Oh, it's
walking
crazy.
in, and there's some dudes that are like, you know this, like, I don't know if you ever wrote with this Ashley guy, but
yeah.
Somebody like that where you're like, this dude's a fucking dog.
Yeah, what am I going to add to this
Part of
thing?
you's like, how do I impress them?
Yeah, I mean, so especially back young in the game, dude, it was crazy because like you would know that you had a hit writer coming up in your calendar. So like a publisher would text and say, hey, I got you a write. Let's say Ashley Gorley. I got you a write with Ashley Gorley in 2 weeks. Those next 2 weeks, I'm going to be thinking of the best ideas that I possibly can. I'm going to have verse starts and like melodies and like that you have to come in prepared. You don't have to, but you probably should. You know what I mean? But dude, the crazy thing about early, like these days, man, you know, it's such a small community of songwriters. You literally, you're never going in blind. You know everybody. You've written tons of songs with everybody. You've sat in the room for hours. You just go in and you talk for a little bit, and then you're like, I got an idea called so-and-so, and you start writing. It's like, it's so casual. But back in the day, man, you have to have like a mental strength of like, I'm about to walk into a room and sit with a person that I don't fucking know and share my ability, which might not be that fucking good, for 3 or 4 hours, and like pray to God that collaboration works, or else it's going to be the most awkward 4 hours of your fucking life.
It's 4 hours.
Sometimes it's 30 minutes, dude. Like sometimes a song just comes out. Sometimes it's 8 hours. It just depends on the room and the people and the day and all that. But
dude,
back in the day, it was tough, man.
So nervous.
Like say there's like a
walking
young Hardy out there that's about to sit in a room with Hardy and Ernest or something like that.
Yeah.
They know they're going to. It's like, fuck. What
They
am
know
I?
a couple. They're walking to the Lions Den a little bit.
Yeah, like two homies. That,
Yeah.
bro.
They're hanging out. They have a rapport. They're gonna say jokes like, "Do you laugh with them?" Even though you don't know the
Yeah.
full context. Like
It's
the
all
whole
that.
thing.
It is all that.
Yeah.
And that's a good, I try to remember that as much as I can when I do get like a young writer or a young artist that people believe in and think, which I'm not freaking, I'm feel like I'm just still halfway there, but like to remember that there's kids, to give young people a shot, because that's like, people did that for me, and that's how people, you got to lift people up that you think are talented.
Right.
And a lot of times those
Paying it
people are
forward.
younger.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But, to think about people that come into a room and like, they're playing it cool, but maybe they're nervous and shit. That's
Right.
cool as shit to think
Yeah.
that you're the guy now that's like, people are like, they've done 2 weeks of prep and
Yeah.
throw out ideas
Yeah.
and stuff like
And
that.
also shout out those guys that come in nervous, but they don't seem nervous.
Yeah,
and you're
sure.
like, oh, this person's rad. And at the end, they're like, yo, I was so nervous. But they're like, were you really?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking
Totally.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So with writing, how do you, as you, like now you sign your artist deal, you're starting to do the artist thing that everyone's talking about. You've been cutting songs for everybody else. How do you differentiate? Okay, I want to keep this little nugget for myself because I want my name to be big, as opposed to giving out
Totally.
other things. How do you differentiate that?
It came easier over time. I mean, I definitely have a very polarizing sound, so that helps, like of just like if it was like a rock thing or like just there's just a certain type of song that I know sounds like me and that probably won't fit anywhere else. But the main thing is just like, it's tough these days because I have a few, like I don't really sing, like I'm not a sexy song guy. I'm still young. So there's like, if you write a song that's kind of from the perspective of somebody that maybe is like closer to 50, like songs that are like, remember that time in high school when we did this thing kind of deal. I don't know. There's certain areas that I like just don't feel like I'm there yet, or just kind of stay away from. So, but these days it's it's easier to pick the ones that are for me because it seems obvious. But that was a struggle back in the day. And I'll tell you a funny story. My first number one was One Beer was the name of that song. And when I wrote that song, I had a record deal. I just signed a record deal. And that song got sent to Dustin Lynch. That's the story that I hear. And I hear that Dustin really liked it and that he was going to record it. That's the story. Dustin, you can fact check this and completely call bullshit. But my manager, Seth, called me I'll never forget. I was in Oxford. I was with Callie, and he was like, "Hey, what the fuck's up with this one beer song?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "You're not keeping that for yourself?" And I was like, "No." It's like, that song is not, because at the time, especially, I was like Mr. Redneck, dude, and I just wanted to do like the super redneck shit. And this song was about like having a baby in high school and like, but how that turns into like a beautiful thing, blah blah blah. And he and I got in a legit full blown like yelling argument over the phone about, I was like, you don't, you know, it was this whole thing about, he was trying to tell me like, he was telling me like, you're an idiot if you don't record this song. And he straight up said, this, if you record this song, it'll be your first number one. And I'm like, you're out of your freaking mind. He talked me into recording it. It was my first number one.
No shit.
So like there have been times where the opposite, where instead of like, this song is definitely for me, there's been times where I sent out a song and was like, there's a note that this is not a me song. And then I got a phone call. It's like, you need to take that back, because this is definitely you.
What's a song that comes to mind that wasn't a you song that you thought it was?
I mean, the One Beer being one, but there was another one called Sign Sober You, which was like early on song. And we had to take that away from John Party. Apparently was going to cut it like the next week. And I think Seth had to call his record label and be that's when it sucks, is when like it gets sent to somebody else.
Yeah, you can get a little chippy, huh?
And they have to call and be like, hey, we're taking this one back. And there is a law called or an act that was passed called the First Usage Law or Act, where basically if you don't have permission from any of the songwriters, then you're legally not allowed to record the song, but only one time. So like if I recorded it and it flopped, John Party could have recorded that and put it out, no problem. Like for example, because of the First Usage Act, you have to get permission from the songwriters to record the song for the first time. But after that, you don't have to get permission. So I could go re-record Morgan's Dangerous album top to bottom and put it out, and would not have to get permission from a single person.
Really?
Anybody could. You could top to bottom record the Fleetwood Mac Rumors, freaking Michael Jackson Thriller, and you would not have to get permission from anybody.
Why? So why is there that giant gaping hole in the first act?
I guess just the first time. I don't know. For some reason, like the first time that it gets recorded, I don't know. You just have to get permission.
All right. Somebody wants to record a song. You wrote it with us three. Wrote a song. G wants to record that song. I want him to. Will wants him to. You don't want him to.
You only need permission from one songwriter.
Got you.
Yep.
And so, is there ever like a call back and forth with like?
Yeah, totally.
You and Ernest for Ernest, like, I want to. This guy to record. And you're
totally.
Like, no.
And that situation can go 50-50, and it happens all the time. Like you'll have a guy who has, like, let's say he was a young artist and he's a buddy of mine and he wants the song really bad, but you guys think that it could go to somebody that, you know, there's no faith in him making money off the song because he's so young, nobody knows who he is. They might not play it on the radio. And then let's say Luke Bryan loves the song, but he's my buddy and I want to do him a solid. And I've got maybe some hits and I'm not worried about, you know, like that, but maybe you guys haven't had a hit yet. And you're like, well, fuck that. I heard Luke Bryan wants it. Yeah. Let's give it. Or like, why would you let him have it? This song is so good. Maybe somebody else wants it. Like there's that happens from time to time, but the Nashville way, and the thing, it kind of goes with the drop a word, take a third thing, is whoever wants it can have it. That's how I've always been. If you're the first person to get a hold of it and you really want it that bad, then take it. I feel like there's so many people that I look up to and like hit songwriters and stuff that have that mentality, and I just think that shit goes a long way. And like Up Down is a great example. Again, I say that there's a song, Jameson Rogers, who is a buddy of mine, that Some Girls, he cut that song. He recorded that song before he had a record deal, and that ended up being his first number one.
No shit.
So like sometimes you just got to let people take it because you never know what's going to happen with it, you know?
Yeah. Oh snap.
You lost your train of thought?
The mouse is dying in the wheel right now. The mouse is dying in the wheel right now. Oh, are you essentially at a spot now where as you're writing music, you ultimately just in your mind, you're like, I'm writing the song for so-and-so? While also, and I guess simultaneously, you know, accepting your publisher being like, hey, you're going to write, you know, we said Blake Shelton, but you're going to write Blake Shelton's next song.
So there's a thing called a tip sheet, and they send it out like every week. And it basically, whoever, somebody does all this research or whatever. It's not like a ton of research. It's just word of mouth. But they make a database of who is recording right now. So like, let's say Tim McGraw is at the top, and they're like, he's recording tomorrow, and Kenny Chesney is recording next week, and Morgan Wallen's recording over the next few weeks, and blah 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 blah. And there's this long list of people. Especially if I'm not like in a record cycle where I'm like writing for myself, or if I got plenty of songs and I know I'm like good for a while. Like a lot of times you will look at that and be like, let's try to shoot for so and so. Like this person is recording tomorrow. What if we can get it to that person and they fall in love with it and they love it so much that they're like, screw this song I was going to record. Let's record this one instead, kind of thing.
Got you. Do you ever have songs that you write that you know this is the artist for it, and you just kind of holster it until that artist is, you know,
yeah, sometimes
essentially like recording? Hey, they finally made the tip sheet on they'll be recording in a month from now.
Yeah,
and you're
totally.
like, all right, this is the song I've been waiting for.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll be like, this song that we wrote sounds like this person and only this person. I'm gonna wait like 6 months until I know this person's going back in the studio, and then I'm gonna send it to him, because a lot of times people will listen to a song. You'll like, if I was gonna send it to Keith Urban, whoever, and he isn't recording he hasn't not going in the studio for a year. Do you really want to send a song to somebody and have them listen to it and get tired of it over a year and be like, maybe there's something else better out there?
Right.
Or do you want to wait till that 2-week window where they're really listening to songs
to where
and
they're
let them fall in
motivated,
love with it then, so it's fresh, you know?
Yeah.
There's like a lot of, I mean, there's strategy to it, but again, there's no rhyme or reason. That person could love that song 2 years from now and record it and take it to radio. It could be a hit. But there is there's definitely some strategy, stuff like that you try to think about, you know?
That's fascinating.
I love how many layers there are to this game.
I know.
It's super interesting to find out.
I mean, sometimes
And
that's
all
what
at the
makes
same
people hit
time,
songwriters.
The creativity just is, you know, I'm sure you have downtimes, but like just 24/7
thinking about something,
stuff new. You know what I mean?
Boys
It's
in
like
a deer stand just thinking to himself, I could write this song or that song.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Do you put a lot of stuff down on your notes, I'm assuming? Like
tons.
notes app, like recording?
Tons. Every songwriter in Nashville has probably in their notes app or whatever they have, has a list of ideas in their phone. And dude, it could be, I mean, you got to write down everything. If you think anything could be a song, you got to write it down, because you just never know. That's what's so great about collaboration, is like, you never know if you had a way to write it and it wasn't very good, but your buddy over here was like, ooh, what if you did it like this? And they kind of figured out they cracked the code to like how to write a simple idea or whatever that is.
Yeah.
It turned that into like a great idea.
I love the idea of collaborations, especially on songs. Like how do you get someone to come on a song with you? Do you have to have the relationship, or do the managers handle that?
Like to like put a song out together? Like if me and Jelly Roll were going to do a song together or something? Yeah. I mean, it usually, especially these days, starts with like, it's like your homies with the person kind of thing. You know what I mean? And text it to them and let's do this together. And, you know, sometimes they're like, you know, hey, I got tons of features right now, I can't do it or whatever. But a lot of times, and then there's sometimes like you'll write a duet or you'll record a duet, and it could just be somebody you don't know but you're a big fan of, and you get a hold of that person and just ask if they would want to do it with you, and they do it.
Who are like some of the people you would love to do a collab with, a feature with, out there in the game right now that you haven't yet?
Oh my gosh, man. Jelly and I have been talking for forever about doing a song together, and
you also haven't done one?
No, not yet. We've only written one song together, but we haven't.
So right there,
collabed on
he's still ascending.
Dude,
he's still
really
ascending,
is.
bro.
When it does happen, I know, bro. It's crazy.
I know. Maybe
man.
it's just the longer I wait, the bigger it'll be.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't know. I've been so thankful to have been a part of so many cool collaborations. Maybe in the pop world. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know where I would start. I mean, I said Post Malone for forever, and then I got to be on that album, which was like insane. I don't know. I will have to circle back to that one. I really don't know.
You brought up a different genre. If you did a different genre of music, what would you want that genre to be?
Like if I did it myself?
Yeah. Like your country is no longer an option to you.
I mean, I would just fully lean into the rock and roll thing.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But I would love to try to do like a hip hop thing. I don't know.
Oh, rap.
Yeah.
You want to get out there and rap a little bit.
You and
Snow.
My last bro, what you know about Snow, dog?
I know a little bit about Snow.
My last album, Quit, the first song on that album was I rapped in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You fucked with it. That was you.
Yeah, I like it. I think y'all would fuck with it.
I would love to hear it. Looking back, are you so happy that you took that leap to go into the artist world?
I think so, yeah.
Because it seems like I've never gotten to be at one of your shows, but I follow like all your Instagram stuff, and it just seems like you get on the road with like Ern and Morgan, like obviously Morgan's country and everything else, but it seems like you bring this rebellious style, just the theatrics of the show. It seems like it'd be really fun to be at, because you kind of have like this NWO style about you that gets added to the country mix of like an Ern and a Morgan.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we definitely from the beginning have treated it like a rock show, you know, like just this energy and like a big party and that kind of thing. But no, I haven't regretted it. There's been a lot of times where I have, especially early on, and dealing with like even just a little bit of fame and like, not, you know, this, you guys know, but like the sacrifices of not being able to go certain places and do certain things that you used to love to do and all that. And I think just that's been like that was my biggest struggle. But now that I've gotten over that, the ability, the privilege to move people and to give people a release from like their normal lives that might be giving them problems is like the coolest thing in the world, which is like for me, like our live show. And like when this year we did our first like real big headliner thing and played a lot of big like venues, and like I'm just looking out and thinking like, man, these people just came here to have fun, and like I'm providing that for those people. It's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
That's awesome.
The live show thing is so sick. Like, how much do you put into like the lights, the fire, everything? Because we did that music video and there was that fire guy there.
Shit, that was
and
so
he was talking about some crazy shit. And you're like, yeah, I could do that.
He was talking about the jacket. No, I haven't, but I have not forgotten about that guy.
Yeah.
And that's still a possibility. Yeah. So a few months before every tour.
That's so badass.
So badass. Dude. Imagine that being you.
I know.
I'll have a like a production meeting, and guys, you know, my manager and my production manager and these people we'll sit down and we'll go through the set list, and I'm good. I got one in already.
Yeah.
We'll go through the set list and just song to song be like, what are you thinking for this? You know, and because these days, like we have a screen in the back. It's like, what's the content that you think you'll like? And from the top down, we just kind of go through that. And, you know, the fire and stuff, I leave those moments or whatever, like, you know, because it's not every song, you know, it's like certain, you kind of pick and choose your fire moments and your smoke moments and all that stuff. But I like to be as involved as I can in that stuff, because I just think it's all a part of the creative ball. And like you can tell the difference between a well-crafted show and a not well-crafted show. Even if somebody that has a million hits, like you got to have transitions and like talking points and moments, and you have to have like the top of the show has to do this, right? And then it should bring people down so that when you do that again, it's more hype. You know what I mean? And there's like undulance to it. And I like to be as involved as I can on that stuff, because I think it all matters.
Are you familiar with NF, the rapper?
Totally.
Dog, we went to his Bridgestone show.
Sick,
Yeah.
And the level, I mean, the guy's got OCD. Like, he's very detailed in everything he does.
Yeah.
But the screen behind him was like almost interacting with him. He knew where to be and when to be there. And then all of a sudden a balloon would come out of certain places.
Yeah.
And that does
shopping cart.
add
That's
such
cool.
a crazy aspect to everything. Yeah, the shopping cart move is so hard. It's so hard.
What was the shopping cart bit? What was that?
He did
So
like
you know, as he's like wheeling out with the balloon that hangs on the shopping cart.
Yeah.
It's like one of his openers to
Oh yeah, dude.
one of his albums, but he had that rolling with the screen in the background. It was just, it's
That's sick.
Yeah.
He's an act. He lives here.
Yeah, he is. He's a local boy.
That's cool. I like him a lot.
He
He's
does
really
crush, dude. He's got like every white athlete in their feelings every time they play
cool.
one of his songs.
Ultimate fucking hype guy, right?
Yeah. He hype, but like also like he unpacks maybe those 12-year-old emotions that you've hid down for a little bit, gets them boys to come back out. Yeah, bro. He's elite in the emotional category. Absolutely elite in that. But yeah, his shows are dope.
I need to go catch one, man. I haven't seen him live yet.
Yeah, it's cool. It definitely is. Do you get out to a lot of shows?
I try to.
Yeah, it's probably hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to do it
stuff,
here where you can kind of sneak around or watch it but also like, you know, if it's like a whatever it may be, a non-demographic of mine type show, me and Callie will just go, dude. Like,
for real?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is, but Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just go.
Yeah, a little date night.
Yeah, like we went and saw. Who did we go see? It was like a year ago or so, and it was like I think it was Ja Rule and like no, it was Nelly. It was Nelly and Ashanti and I don't know. There was a million openers, and like we just went to that. Travis Scott. We just went to Travis Scott last year, and like yeah, I mean, there's times for sure, but I wish that I could go to more. But I will say, when we play festivals and stuff, like big festivals in the summer, dude, I'm on that stage watching everybody. Like I love watching shows and just seeing how different people perform. Because it's like at the risk of sounding like a douche, it's like it's an art form. To like performing is like, and how are you able to manipulate a huge crowd of people? It's like it's a gift, and I love watching people. And I mean, honestly, like learning things from them, like picking up moves and just things to say and things like that, and I love it. Yeah.
Who's the best you've ever seen where you're like, holy shit, I gotta up my game?
Man, I only just saw him recently. I'm trying to think of what was the best, but I just saw him in Fenway. But Post Malone is freaking dope. There's a thing where like, when people don't have to try hard, but they are just so cool and they're so captivating, but they're not like trying to be. I don't know how to explain that.
It's like the way he'll have his cigarette, and he's so in the moment. It feels like with his art that it's felt by everybody.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's hard. It's a weird thing to try and explain.
Like there's still like a space between the two, like the audience and him. But it's like
even when you're watching clips or anything else,
it's like
you're
watching
thinking,
a tiger in the zoo.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, that thing's look at it just being
Dude,
a tiger.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's a great example. He has these songs like Better Now, which is just like right down the gut, like pop hit. And at the show, he'll just be like, "You probably think that," you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like Travis Scott has got to be number one. Actually, I just remembered that. I mean, his show.
Didn't he do like backflips off of like?
Dude, he does everything, dude. It's insane. There's like a video clip of him, like his top 10 like biggest, which I know he got in like, or his some crazy stuff happened at a show a while back. But like, that's the shot right there, bruh. He's like up on top of some fucking 10-foot fire hydrant thing, and what I love about that is his music does not reflect his live show. Mm-hmm. His music is just like hip hop, but it's not the songs itself are not this overly insanely hype thing. It's not like ridiculous, but then you go see it live, and the culture that he has created as a live performing artist, like Fiend is just like, when you listen to it, who doesn't love Fiend, but like, when it's live, it's like he's at a fucking metal festival. I mean, it's just like people are going bananas, and there's just a crazy translation between his music and how just the live culture, and people just know to act a complete and total fucking fool at his live shows.
Yeah,
that's the funnest show I've ever been to by far.
That's fucking dope, dude. Yeah, I know he does some crazy shit.
The Morgan Wallen walkout.
Yeah,
it's so iconic. It's so popular, but it's something like that to where it's so cool and popular that I'm sure the boys, you have to almost chirp him to bring him down a little bit.
Did you see the video we made?
No,
we made a video, and me and Ern were like picking at him about it.
No shit.
Yeah.
Try to pull that up.
Ern posted it on his like Instagram.
Every time I see him do a different walkout, I think of you and Ern, and I'm like, I wonder if the boys like chirp him. Like,
bro, how about Peyton Manning coming out in full uniform?
Yeah, I know, right?
That was hilarious.
It's a cool thing that he is that Morgan has done with that. It really is.
Brings like a game day element, game day atmosphere.
Yeah,
for sure.
But in my mind, I'm like, I know the boys got to chirp.
No, that one's not it. This one is like, we're walking. It's like in a hallway. It's in there somewhere. It's he just got the haircut, so it's a little further down.
The Ern is like that in the writing.
Shit. I can't see. Maybe that's too far. I can't remember. I'll tell you the date was around like it was in September.
We'll find
but
it.
Dude, yeah, I mean, like Morgan is he's before anything, he's just our buddy. So like, yeah, you gotta give a chance. Yeah, for sure.
I know you got to be out in 15, so let's twist a question to your talk.
Yeah, let's rip it. We're wearing our costumes. Let's bring it back to Spooktober.
I know. It is November 12th. But to us, it's October 31st.
That's right.
To us.
In our hearts, always.
Yeah.
Twisted Question is brought to you by Twisted Tea. That Twisted Tea is always made with 5% ABV. It is great for tailgating in the parking lot, at the bar, watching with the boys.
Goes down smooth, zero carbonation.
It is fantastic. It is a perfect alcohol/beverage for game day, whether tailgating in a parking lot, watching at a bar, or watching with friends at home. Twisted Tea is there to turn up your game day. Let's keep it twisted. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today. This question, as always, well, not as always, is brought to us by the boys in the back, either Mitch Carsley or Sherman Young.
Are we about to get? Okay, go ahead.
Actually, can we get Sherman in the
I didn't
Batman
know we were
voice?
getting
Can we get
Batman
Sherman?
voice.
Yeah, let's get Batman and Sherman.
Where is she?
Yeah. Can you ask it in Batman, dude, please?
Yeah.
I'd love to. Would you rather get the biggest haul of all time while trick-or-treating, or hand out the biggest haul of all time?
Hand out 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Because the joy you would get from just seeing all the kids, dude. I don't know what that would be, but hand out for sure.
I agree. It's like when you get to the spot where you want to hand out some king size stuff, and you're smiling because you know they're so
Yeah, I'm
fired up.
smiling right now, and
I know.
in my head I'm doing it right now.
There's something about dusk and the early trick-or-treaters coming to your house.
The
And
first
you-
one. It's the first one, dude.
And you hand him that king-size candy bar, whichever one it is, and he takes it, looks around, and goes back to his boys, because you know there's a whole new game of telephone
Look, he's
happening.
handing out.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes later, he might be back in a different outfit
Oh, yeah,
with all
dude.
of his boys.
Yeah.
And you know, like, at the end of this evening, I'll be out of candy, and there'll be a lot of kids bouncing off the fucking walls at their house, and it's all going to be because of me.
Yep.
And
That is-
Maybe
part-
even puking later, dude. That's,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Dude,
And you
candy
know too,
puke?
if you're handing out the biggest haul, there's even the part to scratch your ego a little bit. Like if they're coming to your house first, or it's a newer trick or treater, just knowing you're not going to get this anywhere else.
Dude, the shitty
No
part
doubt.
about my house is I get no trick-or-treaters.
I know it's.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it sucks. But what I think I want to do this year, I only have 2 days to do it, 3 days to do it, but I want to get like this giant cauldron and put it like in my driveway and just fill it with candy
Oh, that's cool.
and just see if
Oh my
somebody
God,
pops
you
up.
know
you know what we
Just
should
pull-
do
yeah.
next year? We should host like a trunk or treat
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'd be into that.
where people go to like a parking lot and you just trick or treat out of
Yeah,
your trunk
yeah.
and you hand out candy. There's some around Nashville.
Dude,
It
I have a
have to be
great
massive,
neighborhood.
though.
We should
It
host like
have
a
to be
trunk or treat.
massive.
Yeah. I think we should host a trunk or treat. I think that'd be sick.
That'd be fun. That would be absolutely.
And you're about to enter a sick phase too, like
Oh my
when
God,
your little
dude.
one's old enough to trick or treat, and just like getting them in the spirit.
Oh
They're
my
scared
gosh.
of everything. Kind of like, hey, daddy's got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
I'm
that's
in
good.
peak mode with that right now with my
Yeah.
two kids. I woke up this morning, went, grabbed myself a nice little workout, came home. My daughter was a butterfly. She's so ready.
I love it.
We at that party
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
She's already ready, dude. She's a butterfly. She's ready to go. It's juicy out
Hey,
here.
but sorry to interrupt, but have you? I just got a new crossbow yesterday. Luke Bryan sent me a crossbow.
Yeah.
You still want to go
Yes.
hunting? It's
Oh,
completely
100%.
legal. It's completely legal.
Yeah.
I put up a deer camera in his backyard
Dude, so
last
yeah.
year.
Oh, really?
And got
Our-
some studs
our
on there.
relationship-
Got some studs.
Yeah. Our relationship kind of started that way, did it not?
Yeah, I think one of the first texts I ever sent you was, "Can I put a deer camera in your backyard?"
And I was like, I literally showed my wife, I was like, this. I don't think your name was saved in my phone, but I was like, yeah. And then every once in a while, he'll just be like, hey, I was over at your house today. Like,
I had
what's
to
good
change
up
the
there?
batteries.
Yeah, boys
and
had to
stuff.
change the batteries.
They're just thinking, I don't know if I can let you kill one of these animals.
He
on our-
used to ask, and now I just feel like he just goes.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, there'll be like a truck in my parking lot. I'm like, he must be here, man, just doing his thing. But yes, I really do want to go because we went with Steve Ranella and did the meat eater
The duck
thing.
hunting?
Yeah.
We did the duck hunting. I thought that was really cool, and so super green. Have no idea how to do it, but
Dude, the
Somebody cross-
crazy
That'd be fun.
thing. Okay, you can legally do it. It's completely legal. You have to be like 500 feet from your house, which is super easy. And the crazy thing is, if you kill a deer, you can only hunt with a bow in town, right?
Mhm.
If you kill a deer and it goes into somebody else's yard, the only caveat is that you have to legally go to that person's front door and either ask or attempt to ask if you can retrieve your dead deer from their yard.
oh really?
That's it, though.
That's all. And so we can do this in my backyard.
We can do it up in your up in your.
Oh my God, that
Up in
was
the hill.
you?
Yeah,
Where was that at?
that was in Louisiana. That's what real hunters they frown upon, but I had never done it. That's a high fence deer.
The
So
high
like,
fence,
yeah.
yeah. I've
But I don't
done.
get- I
I've
don't
done
get
those.
shit.
Will's a
I
big
don't care.
supporter
Yeah.
of high fence.
Yeah.
He loves himself.
I like to
some
go
high
on the
fence.
trips, but we go down in South Texas.
Yeah,
Nil Guy, have you ever heard of Nil Guy?
yeah.
So the South Texas antelope, we go after those. We get after some whitetail. But it's a fun trip. I go on it every year, and then people talk about the high fence thing. I'm just thinking like, I'm just trying to have some fun with the boys.
Right.
Yeah.
People,
Deer
Peter
hunting
gets
is
real
my-
mad
it's
about the
my
high
favorite thing in
fence.
the
Yeah,
world.
people get upset about
It's
that.
always crazy when there's like these little bastards in America in a high fence.
Oh, yeah.
That feels a little squirrely to me, but
yeah, people killing zebras and shit like that in Texas.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not.
It's
kind of
like a petting zoo. It's kind of like,
It kind of is, right?
You know what sounds sick
Killing zoo.
is the whole helicopter assault rifle game.
I think that would be
that
so
seems
sick.
like a fun little deal.
Do hog hunting, some night vision.
Yeah. Oh, I've done I've not done the helicopter. I was gonna do it one time, and I'm left-handed.
Mhm.
We were in such a small helicopter that you had to be right-handed to be able to shoot because the guy's control thing is on the right side of the.
Dude, I'm a lefty as well.
I'm a lefty also.
Oh, 3 lefties. Let's
Three
go.
lefties. Triple stat.
But yeah, the night vision thing is sick. And if you guys ever need a hookup, I know like 1 million people that do that, and it's fucking awesome.
We should.
I have a video I'll show
Just
you.
have them.
They have them that
log it.
record that you can hit record on your thermal scope, and then like it records it, so you can get to see like your.
Have you ever done
Kill
the
shot.
hog hunting with a knife?
Yeah.
What?
That sounds insane. I got
Dude,
buddies that
all
have
my
their,
buddies
their
back home do
dogs
it.
and shit, and it
Yeah.
just seems insane.
So you get to fight a
Hogs
you
that
get to fight a
squeal
hog.
is so terrifying.
It's awesome. It sounds like poking a hole in a fucking like a CO2 cartridge or something, dude.
Yeah.
Poking a hole in a CO2 cartridge.
It's just
Like,
like
we'll go in
Look
there.
at the
And I'm
size of
thinking,
that
you
motherfucker.
fucking go
yeah,
in
and
there.
those dogs are called cur dogs. They're baying dogs. That's what they do. So you send up like 4 or 5 cur dogs out, and they go find the pig, and they work together to bay it. So they keep it. You know, they work to where they circle it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you have a pit bull or some sort of bulldog, and once you can kind of hear that the pig is bayed up, like you can tell because like he's nipping at the dogs, like all the dogs are barking, but you'll hear a dog kind of whine or whatever, like you can just tell, and then they just let that fucking pit bull loose, and he runs in there and he grabs it somewhere and just holds it down, and then people go in and just
Take it down.
yeah.
Take that thing down.
That is a way different than I thought it would be. I literally thought it was like the ending scene of The Gray. Like you kind of just
You're just
find
down there
one,
by
you
yourself,
square
just
off with
down-
them.
no,
that's
not
that's the
quite.
deal.
I'm too like emotionally attached to dogs because I hear the stories of
Yeah,
guys, like, losing
There's
dogs, and it makes
casualties
me
for
sad.
sure. Yeah, that's
Look at that
real. But these
motherfucker,
guys,
dude.
the guys that do this, those dogs are their tools. You know what I mean?
Pros.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a different mentality. Like they're not. It's not their pets. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, having a dog. What's up, Sherm? Oh, 5 minutes. Having a dog that does everything you say. I have not ever had the luxury of that happening in my life.
Waffle is not
Ever.
that type of animal.
But it's something about that, dude. I've been around people who are like, hey, go look at the dog. I'm like, go wait in the truck, and they'll just run and go sit in the truck.
Oh yeah,
I've had a buddy that's
the
like,
best.
hey, go
I've never
give me
really
a
had
beer,
one
and
like
they'll go
that.
grab one out of the cooler.
Oh, I've seen that too.
Yeah,
That's fucking
pull
nuts.
the fridge and grab one.
Yeah, it has a little rope on the fridge.
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
How'd you get that? And they'll talk about shot collar training. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, shot collar training's a little wild.
Yeah,
A little
a
wild.
little
I
fear
do my
tactic.
little husky I got over there though. She got that shot collar on 24/7.
I'm thinking about getting
She
a
does
shot
not
collar
listen.
for Waffle.
For what?
Get that thing to listen, bro. Waffle don't
Bro,
listen
she
to
don't do
shit.
anything.
We need her to get off the damn couch when I tell her to get off the couch. It's always a fight.
What kind of dog is Waffle?
Bulldog.
What kind of bulldog?
Just an underbite disease.
Tricolor.
ridden-
Oh,
English-
English bulldog.
English.
My fault. Yeah,
Gotcha,
English bulldog. I'm thinking, how many different bulldogs? But yeah. That's
Right.
Waffle right there.
Talk to me about how much you love that dog now.
Love Waffle.
However,
Tongue always out.
I was obsessed with Waffle
Look at that
until
thing.
Rue came. And that's
Really?
when the kid kind of shifted it.
Oh,
The kid kind of shifted it. We still have our moments. Like she's a good pup. I give her some belly rubs.
Dude, that's awesome.
My goal every day is to give her enough love to where Charo acknowledges, like, oh, you're loving Waffle again. And I'm just thinking, I'm trying to let you know that.
days.
Yeah, I'm
Stack
trying to let
days.
you know I'm putting in effort.
I love that. I love it. Tier talk, and then we got to get Senor out of here. Tier talk is going to be tier talk is very simple. I know you watch the show religiously, but I'm going to explain it for those who haven't seen it before. We're going to do candy bars. So you're going to start off. You can give an honorable mention if you want,
Okay.
and then you're going to go your tier 3, your tier 2, and then finally your tier 1, which will be your favorite.
Okay.
Add a little story to it if you want. If there's a reason for some nostalgia, go for it. But Will, as always, kicks it off right away. So go ahead, Will.
Oh, I do.
Oh, and then after you go, we're going to go around the bus and everyone gets one word to describe how they felt about your tier talk.
Okay.
My tier 3 is going to be a Kit Kat bar. I love Kit Kat bars. I'm not somebody who goes out of my way to get a Kit Kat bar, but when I do on Halloween, I very much enjoy the Kit Kat bar. My tier 2, when people have them, Heath is one of my favorite candies. A Heath bar is one of my favorite candies. I love putting them in ice cream. I love the Heath Blizzard at Dairy Queen. I love Heath bars, and then you throw some caramel on top in the ice cream. I know I'm getting off the path with Spooktober, but Halloween, when people have Heath bars, it fires me up. My tier 1, and it's a no-brainer for me, but it's a fast break. It's a Reese's fast break. That is an absolute no-brainer. If you get a king-size one, when we go on our fall tour trips and we stop at the gas station, I'm always getting a king-size fast break. But a fast break, a Reese's fast break is my number 1 candy in the world.
Yeah, it's good.
And that concludes my tier talk.
Seasoned.
Vengeance.
Mitch.
Fire.
Tasty.
Accurate.
Adequate.
Ooh, adequate. Yes.
Okay.
Let's go, Artie.
Do you want to go last?
Little
or you wanna go
Rider.
next?
I'm ready.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. Tier 3. The Hershey's Cookies and Cream bar. The white one, right? I loved it as a kid, but I can't really eat it much as an adult because I feel like if you eat the whole thing, it just makes me feel like I'm gonna fucking.
I was
die.
gonna
But
say it gets the tummy going a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, very like
one or two little of the one or two because it's sections, so you can ration it a little bit. You know,
yeah, a little delicacy when
Yeah.
you're a child.
Tier 2 is a Snickers bar, but with the almonds and not the peanuts, dude. And for an added bonus, frozen. So fucking good. And for me,
You might get the
all
chat
time
fired up with that one.
number 1 is Heath bar. Dude, there's just toffee is
Yes.
undefeated, dude. Heath bar number 1, frozen ice cream, whatever it is. I love. This is the most fat ass thing ever, but I love how it gets stuck in your teeth and you get to eat it again.
Yeah,
dude.
bro. Save some for later.
Yeah,
Get on that top
absolutely.
roller.
Just
Like I'm
all
gonna
day, just
save
pick-
you 30
yeah.
minutes from now.
100%.
Love.
And that concludes my tier talk.
Love.
Almost.
Justice.
Interesting.
Veteran move, hyphenated.
Hyphenated cookies and cream.
Lost me with the almonds.
The almond for
Lost
sure,
me,
but
threw
man,
me
that
off
heat.
a little bit.
All right.
But
Fair enough.
all great selections.
Okay.
All great selections. Let's get started. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to the Payday. I think the Payday is delicious. I like as a child take all the little peanuts off myself one at a time and then enjoy whatever that little caramel center is. That little caramel bar in the middle is delicious. My tier 3 is gonna go to the Heath bar. And I think it's only gotten better for me as I've gotten older. I don't think I respected the Heath bar as I should have when I was a young buck, a young child. My tier 2 is going to go to the packets of Sour Patch Kid watermelons when you're able to get them. Sometimes a Sour Patch Kid, there's just a regular bag, that'll do well. For those of you that don't know me, Hardy, you might not know this about me, much more of a gummy guy than I am a chocolate guy.
Okay.
However, because the bag size, it doesn't make my tier 1.
He's got some sweetness to him.
Yeah, and my tier 1 is going to be your classic Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. There's something special about having those two little bastards sitting there looking at you, talking shit. They happen to be the first ones to catch a casualty when you open up that pillowcase after the night is over of ravaging neighborhoods. And that is my tier talk.
Well done.
Inconsistent.
You're gonna love me. Hyphenated.
Stuck in your teeth, hyphenated.
Payday.
Excellent.
Wow.
Reese's.
Care to elaborate?
Candy bar, dude. That was what it was though, right?
Oh, so the
so
Reese's
your
Always
two and
he's
your
only
1 was not a
accountable.
candy bar, you
True,
know?
fair enough. That's
all.
fair.
Nice
Good
pickup
pull.
right there.
Way to be a detailed guy.
You know.
That's playing
Detailed,
defense.
creative, handsome. What doesn't he have?
Yeah, he's playing
He's
some
got it all.
defense right now.
That's good.
Reese's is like to me the best candy brand. Like there's so much
Reese's
variety.
Pieces,
There's
too.
so much range. Reese's Pieces. Then when you get towards Easter and you got the little eggs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Halloween.
Oh.
Halloween, did they do the pumpkins?
Yeah,
Christmas, did they
bro.
do-
You got
they
a
do the
white chocolate
trees?
one if you're
Yeah.
yeah.
They do it right. They know how to do it.
Yeah. But I love how you always get the Reese's tree for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like a tree.
No, and then also like they somehow survive until next Christmas and you open it, it's all white and shit. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. That's what your tummy.
You still
that's
take it
going in your
down?
tummy.
yeah, 100%. Are you kidding me?
Boys, let's give a round of applause.
Hardy,
for
that was
Hardy.
awesome, man.
Thank y'all,
Joining
man.
us
Yeah,
today.
bro.
Been a long
Thank you.
time coming.
I
brother.
know,
Dude,
man.
it
I'm
really
so happy
has.
to
I
finally
can't
do
believe
it.
this is the first
We've
time.
been trying for like 2 years.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
glad we finally
More
got
than
it done.
that, bro. I feel like longer
It's been
than
a
that.
You'll
minute.
be busy. I'll get lazy. It's a
Yeah.
horrible combination to get some stuff
We had
done.
a couple times dialed in,
Yeah.
fall apart.
Yeah, what was that? Oh, Beer Olympics next year. You coming?
Yeah. Give
Done.
me a day. I will have a
We don't have a
6-month-old, but
Yeah,
maybe we
that's
bring
gonna
her.
be- Yeah, bring her.
Strapped
Get-
up. Cows
get
are
the
flipped
hose on
over
her.
there. Yeah.
totally.
just bouncing her up and down.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That'll be all the time. We do appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on.
Thank y'all for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Congrats on all
dude.
your success.
Seriously. Thank you.
Seriously. All right, boys. Subscribe. Big hugs, tiny kisses.
That was fun.
Oh,
That was
yeah, dude, thank
fascinating.
y'all.
Appreciate all the storytelling.
Oh,
too.
absolutely,
was
man.
sick.
Thank you.